All right, welcome, everybody, ladies and gentlemen, to the Convo with Crown podcast show. Yes, sir. Hey, listen, the podcast is lighting up. It's getting lit, man, because I got another special guest in the building. This man been doing his thing for years. Do you hear what I'm saying? You ain't seen this man all over the internet. I'm talking about on ridiculousness, all over your TV shows, MTV, ridiculousness. Mama D's Royal Love Affair on Tubi. This man done been on the 85 South Show, Shade Room, World Star, undid skits with Shaq. All your favorite comedians. Listen, man, I'm going to tell y'all something that I know for a fact because I was there. The man opened up for Dave Chappelle, brought me with him. You hear what I'm saying? It was the most extravagant experience I probably ever witnessed. And Cat Williams. This all happened in one day, man. So y'all ain't dealing with no rookie, man. This man is very official. And without further ado, let me introduce my man, my homie. We what, 10 years strong and more, man.
Yeah, man.
10 years strong or more. Give it up to Mr. Myron Jewell and his son Makai. Yes, sir.
Yeah. What's up? We in the building, man. You know, he a Jew too, though. But we just found that out, so. No, I'm just.
You just found out it's officially your son.
Yeah, it's official. Yeah, we called him Makai until we found out he was a Jew too. So he a Jew now.
What's going on, Makai? How you doing, man?
What's up? I'm doing good.
Man, what? I know you. I know you. Like, man, this. I got a daddy as a fool, man. Like. I know it be tripping you out like, oh, this man is a fool just watching all the stuff that he do, man. Like, how is it having your pops as your pops, man?
I mean, it's good. I mean, eventually you get used to it. Like, at first, you might be like, damn, he play a lot, but eventually you get used to it. And
this nigga play a lot.
Yeah.
Hey, Myron is one of them ones. He gonna irritate the fuck out of you. You hear me? Like, listen, I got to the point where I wanted to fight this nigga a couple times. But hey, that goes to show you where the love is real, man. Cause if you can really, bump heads with somebody like that, man, and y'all can come back and still be cool, man. That's much love.
I feel like that's my gift that God gave me to. I mean, not make people mad, but make people laugh. But I had to make people mad in order to learn how to make people laugh because I was so silly that it's like you don't know when to stop, and I still struggle with that today. Because once I'm rolling, I'm rolling. So I don't see nothing but the giggles after it gets to a certain point. So your anger just be blacked out by my, by my humor. So,
and he laugh at his own jokes. That's the worst part.
Oh yeah.
He gonna laugh at his own shit, man.
And I got the ugliest laugh in the world, so it make you even more mad.
Man, listen.
Like,
the only person I think is more annoying than him, and I've seen it live in living color, and that pissed him off was Funny Marco. Like,
oh man, Funny Marco, because he different, man. He know how to get under your skin. You be trying to get under his, and it don't work. Like Marco see, I annoy you when I mess with you, and when I know you mad, I can keep pushing you. He do stuff just random, but he don't got no limits.
You ain't either.
No, man. Listen, I ain't gonna. No, I probably would, but I don't know. Look, we was in a strip club. I told you the story. We was in a strip club, all of us together, but we was like in sections. So it was like I'm sitting on one side, Marco sitting on this side, but it's women all around us, right? So I'm just sitting there chilling, and B. Jones was there, and this girl come up to me. She said, Myron, when you come out the closet? I said, huh? Right? She's serious. I said, what you talking about? She was like, I said, man, what you talking? I said, what you talking about? Like, I said, you know what I'm saying? I don't say the word. I said, I ain't none of that. I said, I started getting, I get mad. Yeah. I started getting mad, right? She said, I'm so sorry. She said, Marco gave me $20 to ask you that.
Oh, my God. So
I look over at Funny Marco cracking up. I was pissed, dog. I'm like, dog, and Black and them all over there laughing. Like, I went over, I said, bro, don't play like that, bro. Like, you can play whatever else, but don't play like that, man. Like, I said, we in Atlanta, bro. Like, don't do that, man. Like, I don't know who she gonna go tell that to playing.
Right.
Like, you know what I'm saying? I was so mad, bro. Like, I wanted to fight Marco right there, dog, but it's my boy. So I was mad, and I went and sat down and was still mad for a while, bro.
I know you was.
Like, bro, because I felt now, I'm like, man, they finna spread a rumor now. Like, oh, my mind went super deep. So I'm like, yeah, he play like that, man. I like...
Nah, y'all some fools, man. Hey, I've been around these fools like pranking each other and doing the
Marco,
most, man. But,
you got to just try to outdo him, bro. He win. He different with that pranking stuff, dog.
Y'all some fools. Man, Myron, tell them about yourself, man. Let's start with where you was born and raised for the people who don't know, man. Let them know where you from.
Born and raised Milwaukee, Wisconsin.
Yes, sir. That's the home.
Born and raised, man. I grew up on 24th and Locust. So, you know, that's dead smack in the middle of the ghetto. So, seen a lot, been through a lot, you know, but obviously I took a different route, y'all see. But, yeah, 24th and Locust, man. I went to Our Avenue Elementary School, which is on 24th and Burleigh. Then I went to Fritchie Middle School, and then I graduated from Marshall High School. And after that, you know, I always had a job. I always kept a job, you know what I mean? And before I started doing comedy, the last job I had, I worked there for 9 years before I gave it up to do comedy, you know what I mean? So that's pretty much like a quick rundown of, like, you know what I mean? And I, you know, grew up in a house where the average black people was up with a whole lot of kids in the house, you know, dirty roaches, mice, just, you know, things we couldn't control at the time. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
Right.
where was I going to go? I just made them my friends. So.
You said you made the rodents his friends.
Yeah, I made the roads my friends, man.
So how, like, you know, coming up in the hood, bro, we all, you know, that peer pressure of, you know, getting involved in hood activities is always a factor. Like, what caused you to steer away from that, and what prevented you from, like, going down the route of, like, selling drugs and, you know, really getting into some street shit?
So when I was in elementary school, you remember Dare?
Yeah.
We had Dare. So I used to be curious. I did a lot of bad stuff. Like, I was like a normal bad kid. Like, I did regular bad stuff, but I never sold drugs. I never smoked weed. I didn't try liquor, black and mild cigarettes. I tried none of that stuff. But when I was in the DARE program, they stressed to us so much how bad drugs was for people. So with me being in elementary school and they saying that, I thought weed was like doing cocaine when I was a kid. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, you know, now you old, you like, weed ain't nothing but weed. But when I was a kid, we in the 3rd, 4th grade, I had friends on Locust that was already rolling up, smoking full blunts.
Damn.
And I'm like, I used to see them, I used to be like, man, y'all some crackheads, man. But they was like my type friends, y'all some crackheads. But I never smoked it, but seeing that, and I was like, they had black lips and stuff, and I just knew they was gonna be crackheads when they grew up. So that made me not want to do that, you know what I mean? I said, nah, you know what I mean? And then just I've been in there, I've been around like where I was outside playing and shootouts happened, you know what I mean? And you see it, but it would be with like people, older people that I knew, you know what I'm saying? I done been over there and just left out of a spot, and as soon as I leave, somebody that we looked up to end up getting like shot and killed, right? And the people went up the way that I just came out of with my cousins. But it's just like a spare moment. Like, we come down, we came out the back of the house, went through the alley, came through the next backyard, and then as soon as we got in that backyard, before we even can walk down the grass and hop the gate and be back on 24th, we heard pow, 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 pow. So everybody started running.
Right.
And we like, what the heck? And we found out that somebody went up in there and robbed a gamble and shot somebody. They shot like basically a legend to the streets to us. You know what I mean? He ended up dying that night, but that was crazy because I'm like, bro, we literally like we wasn't even all the way at our destination. So they either watched us leave, but I don't see why they would do that. You know what I mean? Or we just missed them. You know what I mean? Like, we walked out and they probably was finna hit a corner or pull up and we was gone, and then it was crazy. But stuff like that made me be like, nah, like I don't want this. Then I had a couple friends die when we were younger, and it was like, man, we were young, so it was like, dude, like, do I want to live this life? And I knew that wasn't really me at heart.
Right.
It was me. I was used to the stuff, but it wasn't nothing. I don't want to live my life running around, hiding and worrying about who, you know, looking for me, and I'm looking for them and stuff like that. But so I just always stayed away from it, man. And I always felt like comedy. I was always a comedian at heart, even as a kid. I was goofy even when I was bad.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I stayed away. I already knew I wasn't going to, you know. Oh, and then meet my friends once I got to high school. That's what was solidified it. Me and my friends out of high school were sophomores, and they showed me a whole different type of life. Like they were going to, I used to just go to school, come home, be on the block all day, and be happy. I wasn't selling nothing, but just I was happy with my habitat, you know.
Right,
But
right.
they was going to homecomings, Great America, dances, and I was seeing different quality of women, and they were dressing better than me. So that's when I wanted to get a job. I'm like, man, I'm gonna get my own jobs. I could, you know, that's why I say it's true that you are who you hang around. Because I started to become like them because I was hanging around them. So I wanted to dress better. You know, I wanted to keep my hair cut. I wanted to get away from what I was used to. And it worked, man. And those are still my friends to this day.
That's what's up, man. That's what's up. So you had some sort of good influence around you, because a lot of kids, like we talked about before, one of the last episodes, me and J-Day was on here. He gave you shouts out too. He gave you flowers too.
Oh, I gotta watch the whole episode. I seen snippets. I seen the snippets y'all posted.
Yeah,
you ain't
yeah.
post that snippet, I don't think.
No, he gave you some flowers. We was talking about, how in the hood, a lot of times, well, especially in this time now, that kids are raised by the video game systems. You know what I mean? And, those single parents or whatever aren't there to attend to the kids. A lot of times when we was coming up, it was the older cat that was just a few years older than us that was our influence. And, that's kind of how we, got steered the wrong way. But it's good that you have friends around that could, keep you level-headed,
Yeah, they were different, man. They were different. And so it helped me get away. And then just say real quick, one of my friends that I grew up on Locust with, me and him was like this. And we still was like that even when I started hanging with my other friends. But he was following a path that people probably expected me to follow, but he was still the same type of dude like me. Like he liked basketball, he was goofy, he liked the roast, he was like that. But he stayed in that. You know what I'm saying? And then years later, we were grown, but he ended up getting murdered. And I'm like, dang. And I said, he wasn't even that type of person. He was just around that because that's all he knew.
Right.
But I always just say that, like, he's supposed to be, even if he ain't doing comedy, he's supposed to go hoop, or he's supposed to be doing something else. He's not supposed to be over there. But that's all he knew. That's all he seen. And obviously, I wasn't enough for him to be like, let me lead it. You know what I mean? Like me, they was enough. They didn't make me do that. I chose to do that. It was a personal decision.
Right.
But him, he was so caught into it. I guess he just like, boom, he ended up getting murdered. And I was like, dang. And all I ever think about, I was like, that's why I didn't do it, because I know that's not me.
Right.
It's not me.
Did that happen? Did that happen during your come up, or did you have a buzz already, or was it?
No, this is before the come up. But they knew I was silly, like, because I grew up with them since kindergarten, so they knew I was silly. But this was before I started making videos on the internet. Yeah, I don't think I was roasting. I wasn't even doing roast videos yet.
When did you first decide that you wanted to pursue comedy, and then when did you reveal it to people, like your family and all that?
Well, as a kid, I always thought about it, but I didn't know if I would do it, because it requires me at the time. It was just stand-up comedy. We didn't have social media, so I'm like, I don't know if I can stand in front of people and tell jokes and take it if I don't laugh at me. That's a big thing to do. As a kid, I'm thinking like that. So, as I got older, I remember exactly when I told myself I wanted to do comedy. It was always a mental thought, but I never was had the guts to try it. But I remember, and it's crazy because I was probably he was only 1 year old, so I had to be 23, right? And I was like, I hit my best friend, Gio, and I said, bro, man, I've been thinking heavy. I said, I want to start stand-up comedy. This is stand-up comedy, I said, I want to start stand-up comedy. He said, man, you could do it. He said, I know you could do it. It was instant good energy, right? So I called my sister, called his mom. Everybody 100% go for it. So that hyped me up, right? So shout out to Dietrich, man. I don't know if you know Dietrich, that cut hair?
Yeah.
Ebony.
Yeah,
so Dietrich, my barber at the time, he did comedy, and Gio, first thing he said, hit up D. He said, D be doing comedy and stuff, right? So I called Dietrich right then and there while I'm still amped about it. I said, hey, D. I said, hey, man, I want to start to do comedy, man. I want to try comedy. Now, I'm not thinking he's finna say this, though. I'm like, I want to try comedy. I'm thinking he's going to give me some advice or something. He said, all right, bet, come down tonight. I said, tonight? You know what I'm saying? He said tonight, right?
Right on the spot.
Bro, on the spot. So I try to think of everything mentally to avoid going, but I didn't say it to him. I said, all right, bet, with confidence. And I got up. Or I was shitting all day, literally, bro. I was so scared, dude. It's 1 p.m. and I'm like, this ain't till 8, 9 o'clock, bro. I'm shook. Damn. And I'm like, what I'm doing? I ain't never did comedy. I ain't got no jokes. I don't know nothing. And at the time, I'm young, so my mental was like, oh, I don't got to write jokes. I'm just naturally funny, so I'm going to go up there. Which I know that's different now. But So we go down there. The crazy thing is, I've grown so much because back then I felt like I had to try to be funny instead of let my natural funny. I didn't, doing stand-up comedy, you still have to find yourself on stage.
Right.
Because you'll find yourself talking like you think a comedian's supposed to talk. Like, you know what I mean? I can't really explain it, but it's like you watch so many comedians. I felt like I was supposed to deliver and talk a certain way. And in reality, you're supposed to go deliver and talk the way that you talk when you talk in the crowd outside of this.
Regular, right.
Same way I come tell you a story. If I told you a story about B. Jones or something and you cracking up, I'm supposed to tell that same story like that on stage, and you'll find other ways to tweak it up for stand-up purposes. But yeah, I went up there, man. I remember it like yesterday. It was on Titonia. You know Doug? Do you know Doug? It's a spot on Titonia. He's a club owner, but he it's what is the street is that? It's on. You will know what it is. I forgot what it used to be called. It was a ghetto spot right on Titonia. It's past Center, but it's between Center and North Avenue within that radius. It was a ghetto spot. I went there and did it. I had big gloves on, dude. I was trying to look funny. I had on some shorts because it was summer. I had on some shorts. I had like a vest that you put on with your suit.
Yeah.
I had that on.
You talking about the place where they did Butt Naked Mondays, right?
Yeah. I forgot what it's called.
Man, what the?
I forgot.
Tell me.
So I was there, man. I had on some shorts, some big old Timberland boots, a vest on with no shirt on under, because I'm trying to look goofy. I don't know no better. Put on some big old gloves, and I think I had like a cowboy hat on, and I came out to Michael Jackson's Beat It, Beat It. Because I didn't know. I'm like, I came out just dancing, and I remember talking about roaches and just talking. I didn't know what I was talking about. I was just talking, right? And they laughed, right? And I'm like, now I look back at it, it was horrible. But, they was just like, you did it.
Right.
It wasn't horrible to them at the time, my first time going, but it was like, he ain't scared, he did it, right?
He did it.
Yeah, so that's when I did it, man. And then I kind of I kept going, man. I just kept going, and then it was kind of a delay in it once I started doing social media.
Right.
Until I realized I had to do it again,
How do you control the crowd? And like, have you had an instance where your crowd control wasn't there and like you lost courage? Like, man, talk on that. I know you have.
Yeah. So when I first started, man, it's better now. So now it's like today, if I was panicking up stage, you won't be able to know.
Right.
Like I could be going through it. Y'all could all be out there. Even you could look at me like, bro, what are y'all foul today or whatever. But I'm gonna be up there with all the confidence, like I'm still killing it because I had to learn that. But yeah, I was at my mind was at Brooklyn's on Final Act right there. It was called Brooklyn's.
Yeah, Brooklyn's wasn't.
I went there, man, and I had did them shows like with Dietrich and stuff, and people was giving me like the sympathy, like, oh, you got it, you good, whatever. I was doing good. So this show we had in there, Gio, like my best friend Gio, he like, hey man, he said, did you write some jokes down? I said, yeah, I wrote something down. He said, did you go over them? And then I pulled my book out. I said, nah, I pulled my book out. He said, bro, you can't keep doing that, trying to read your jokes before you get on stage. I said, I'm trying to make excuses. Like, man, that's how I remember them better, cause I'm new. Right. So we go there, saying, I get upstage, I say my first joke, and they don't laugh, right? So I'm like, oh, snaps. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, they looking at me crazy. I say, so I don't even remember what I said, but they didn't laugh. And I'm like, dang. So I'm like, I panicked. Because before I was coming out with my shirt off and they boom, I did that. They were looking at me like, what the hell is you doing? So I did that and they like, okay. Right. So I'm like, oh, that didn't work. I don't know what to do now. Like, 'cause I usually get them going. So I said something. They was just like, it was like that quiet. And then I sat down. I don't stay down. There's a stool up there. I was like, touch my head, man. I sat on the stool, right? I sat on the stool and I was like, man. And I don't remember, I tried to say something else. I tried to say one more thing, and they was like, somebody said, boo. Somebody said, boo. Somebody said, boo. It was like, boo. Then it was like, boo, boo. I see Jig. I ain't know Jig at the time, right? I seen Jig back there. Jig got this big old grin on his face, like, yep, these new niggas better learn. You know how Jig talk, right?
Gonna give it to you, especially as a new one.
So, I talked to Jig before I went up there, not knowing who he was, but I was just like, hey, man, I have to do comedy. He said, yeah, go show me you funny. You got to show me you funny up there, man. You know, he always pacing back and forth. And I'm like, that put pressure on me, too. But I'm like, so I go up there. So I got mad. When they said, boo, boo, I was like, man, fuck y'all. I don't get no fuck. Right, I'm mad. I'm like, fuck y'all. Fuck y'all. I don't get no fuck. I'm mad, right? I'm on the stage.
That's a typical comedian thing to
say. I got mad and said, fuck y'all. I don't care about y'all. Woo, right? My friend is with me in the front, Gio in the front row, cracking the hell up, bro, at me, right? I'm mad as hell, right? But what it did is it didn't push me away from comedy. It just made me want to go back. Like I was hurt. I was in my chest. Like damn, I just bombed in front of everybody. Woo woo. Not thinking like the greats go through it at one point.
All the time.
So I'm in the car, then he just steady talking about like I told your ass. He laughing and shit. I'm like man, shut your bitch ass up. I'm mad. You know what I'm saying? I'm on all types of dirt. So I go home. Most people would have folded and quit probably. Like nah, that shit hard. I didn't. I just boom and asked Jig what happened the next time he seen me.
Killed that shit.
I killed it. He was like, man, you a whole different friend. That was like a month later or 2 months later. By the time at T-Dot used to have a night down here.
Yeah.
And Midwest Comedy Night, man. And that's what helped me get going too by doing that. And then shout out, it's another comedian named Chalk that was friends of my auntie. He was doing comedy shows at Savoy's over there on Locust. And he was like my 4th ever comedy show. I did that. I got that on DVD still. He had it recorded for me and everything, man. I look at that like, man, I came a long way. But he showed love. I went up there, then he had me stay up there. And he asked the crowd, like, Myron, this is Myron. He just started doing comedy. He asked me, I was like, it was like my 4th time at the moment. Is that my 4th time? He's like, Myron wants to pursue a career in comedy. Do y'all think, Milwaukee harsh? They're like, do y'all think he should, do y'all think he got it? Do y'all think Myron should pursue comedy? And they was like, yeah. And I'm like, dang. So that really boosted my ego.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Then the season comedian that they had booked for the night pulled me to the side. It was giving me some pointers and stuff. It was like, you gonna be funny as hell, man. He said, keep going. It's crazy, man. And I'm like, man, he's Jonathan Gates. I'll never forget his name.
That's what's up, man. Hey, I've seen your growth since we first worked on role play together. That was the first time I met you in 2012. And you was acting a damn fool on set then, so I was like, look at this little skinny nigga over here.
Yeah, I be playing, man. I just don't care, bro. I just ain't got no filter. I have fun. It's just like, I'm me. But I do have times where I'm in chill mode. I don't know if I'm sure, you have seen me like that.
And that's what I was just leading to, because it's amazing to see, like, how you get your routine together. Like, when we was in Houston and you was backstage and you use... Maybe you want to break it down, but how you use like key words to go into your other material. So you'll use this word to know the lead into this material. You want to break that down, or is that too much of a secret for the people?
No, I ain't gonna give them too much, but see, I do that. It's easier for me, like, cause I used to go out there and just have topics in my head, and then I'd be all over the place.
Yeah.
So it might not flow. Like, I might be talking about this, then talk about that, then talk about that. And it's like, none of that. I mean, they don't be caring long as it's funny, but I still used to want to go up there and have some type of, what you want to call it? It's a word that it was on tip of my tongue. It's a simple word, too. I want to be in order, basically. Order. Yeah, but it was a word I had on tip of my tongue, man. So when I write my stuff now, like, when I put it down, I use certain things. I have the joke, but I have certain, like you said, certain words or certain endings that I know. Like, okay, when I say this is going to lead me into talking about this. You know what I mean? And then you go, boom. And then even if I miss a mark, I know, like, this will lead me into that. But it's a lot easier for me when I'm up there to even remember. So even if I got up there and I ain't did a joke in a while, my mind mentally, you know what I mean? Like, say if I was like, I did some shows, but I ain't been doing this joke. And mentally, my mind gonna keep just working on the same set I've been doing, you know what I mean? But certain jokes, if I say it, it'll trigger my mind to make me lead into saying a joke that I never, you know what I mean? That I might forget to say. If that makes sense. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, for sure.
But it's to me, it's easier.
Yeah, that man, comedy is tough. Makai, you ever had an interest in doing comedy since your dad is a damn fool?
I mean, I feel like when I was younger, I did, especially when I started seeing him. I know, like, when he said, like, his little business cards, and I used to go to school and stuff, and, like, I'll be trying to get them to my friend and stuff. So they can get it to, like, their parents and stuff. And then I know, like, sometimes in school, I can't think of no specific time, but I know it was, like, sometimes, like, when I be at home and stuff, I'll be acting like I was like doing a comedy show or something like that.
That's funny. I never knew that. I just learned this now.
Wow,
like, I'll be in a room by myself, and then I'll be either on my bed, cause, like, acting like that's the stage or something, and then I'll be acting like I'm making jokes or something like that. So
that's fun, dude. I never knew this.
For real?
I never knew this because we never.
Crown exclusive.
Yeah, see, he just told me something new. I never knew that because I never was trying to make him do what I do. I
Right.
just be me and just try to show him that I have to work hard for this. So whatever it is that you do decide to do, you're gonna have to work hard, come with sacrifice. So that's what my whole thing with it, like with what I'm doing. So I never told him, like even now doing the videos, we just have fun, man. So I don't get, and mentally, honestly, I don't get like my son want to be a comedian. He just gonna be him.
Right.
But him, as far as like doing stand up, unless it just hit one day and it just changed, you know what I mean? I don't see him getting on stage wanting to tell jokes, but he's 15, so who knows what could trigger? It might trigger, like, you know what? Because it's there. The personality,
Right.
his energy is there, but acting purposes, you know, he give you the dry, like, boom, so you don't
I
know.
couldn't even see him.
That's
on
what
stage,
I'm
man.
saying. See, that's what I'm saying.
He just so
See,
laid back
yeah.
and cool. It's like, man,
See,
dog.
And because he with me at home, I see him when he get goofy, and I'll be like, bro, stop playing so goddamn much, bro.
Yeah.
Like, see, they don't see that. They just see me doing, like he telling me that all day.
Right.
But I be there and he be loud, screaming and goofy. I'm like, sit your big ass down, man. Like, y'all don't understand. They don't see that side. He in there running big ass. He running up the stairs. I'm like, bro, you 8 feet tall, 300 pounds. You running through the house playing. But I'll be like, he a kid. You know what I'm saying? So they play just big. It's like, you know,
Right.
my
Big
size
kid.
running through the crib.
So I know you out there. You playing some sports or something, Makai. You on that basketball court? You got some game?
Yeah.
That's what's up. What grade you in?
I'm a sophomore.
Sophomore?
Yeah.
You got the schools looking at you? I mean, what the game like, man?
I mean, right now, not really, especially plus, like, right now while I'm hooping. Well, for one, I play varsity, and two, but also as of right now, when
Wait, hold on. You can't just roll past that. You just said you a sophomore playing varsity. Shout out to that, man.
Yeah,
Thank you.
yeah.
Thank you.
The only sophomore playing varsity,
Yeah.
man.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You can't
yeah.
just roll past that,
Yeah,
man.
man,
That's
you
a
better
big
talk.
accomplishment.
That's a great accomplishment, especially when you got 4 juniors playing JV. That's what you could be playing because that's your grade, which
That's
that's
your
not a
grade.
thing, but you over accomplished.
You over accomplished.
So,
So,
yeah, you
man,
better
shout out to
praise.
Makai playing varsity in his sophomore year, man. So that gives you more opportunity and leverage to be able to get into the schools that you want and, you know, obtain them scholarships because you starting off early. They looking at you. They really looking at you now because you on varsity playing and you a sophomore. You get what I mean? So don't never down that. That's what's up, man. How much have your father's journey inspired you to chase your dreams?
It inspired me a lot. Like, I know I went through a phase, like with basketball, like where I wanted to quit because, you know, cause I already knew I was going to put a lot of work in. It would be like times where I'd be like, oh, I don't want to go to the gym.
Yeah.
Or it'd be like times I just be like, oh, I don't want to play no more. And I know I know I went through a phase, and I remember I told my dad, and I was like, I think I don't want to play basketball no more. And then, you know, at first it was like, okay, if you want, this is what you want to do, then do it. So then, I can't remember exactly what, but then also I remember we had like a little conversation, talk, and I know he was telling me like, he was like, this is your choice and all that, but I know he was saying like, you know, you've been playing this since like, cause I've been playing basketball since I was like 7, like 2nd, 3rd grade, and he was
That's
like,
a long time.
yeah, and then on top of that, well, I'm already good at it too. It's not like I'm just playing. It's not like I'm just like, oh, he just
Right.
yeah. So it's like, why stop something that you're really good at and you could actually get somewhere far with and just stop it right now? So then, you know, I took time. They gave me time like to actually think about it. And I was like, well, I mean, I could go forward with it too. So then I was like, you know, I'm gonna just keep continuing playing with it. So, and then I still am. It still was some other times too afterwards. Like I'm like, do I really want to keep playing basketball? But then I just keep thinking about the talking, and I'm like, well, no, because I know I can get somewhere forward. And especially with now, like me being in high school, being a sophomore playing varsity, it just encouraged me more. Then I be seeing with him with his comedy and where he be going with it. So then it just keep inspiring me more
That's
to
what's up.
continue with my basketball and all that. So
That's what's up, man. Yeah, don't never give up on them dreams because your pops is, he a living testimony to you chasing your dreams. You can see how far you can go. You know what I mean? And this is like maybe this is time for a Crown's Jewel. Maybe this is like, a good point for a Crown's Jewel. So never stop chasing your dreams, y'all, because we have two guests right here that's going hard on their dreams. I'm a person that go hard on my dreams, and we all manifesting this at the same time. You get what I mean? So we ain't giving up. We might get up a day where we don't want to do content, or we don't want to, you know what I mean, go work out at the gym like you said, you know what I mean? But just that drive and knowing that you can achieve a higher level of success by chasing your dreams, man, chase them dreams. Don't never let them die. So that's a Crown Jewel for you, because we got Myron Jewell. That's one of the that's a new segment, a Crown Jewel that we'll be dropping here on Convo with Crown. So
man.
yes sir.
Just real quick, to piggy on that, like I'm glad because like I said, you getting him to talk and say, you know, we talk, but I'm like to see him speak out to the public and things like that, and I'm glad he touched that, because some people probably think, a lot of people who have parents, like you probably try to force them to do it, and it's like, I can't force him to do something that he don't want to do. So all I can do is encourage him to be like, look how much work you didn't put in. Like, that's like if I told him, I'm finna quit comedy, bro. I can't do this. You gonna be like, what? Like, you sure? Like, you went this far just to quit? Like, no. Like, ain't no other options. There got to be another way for you to figure it out. If I just said, I quit, I'm finna be my son. You like, why would you just quit? And you've been doing it while you got your son this whole time.
Right.
Figure out something, sit around and think about it. That's how I was. I wasn't mad. It was just like, he told me he didn't want to play. I'm like, you sure? Like, yeah. I remember I was driving him to practice. You remember that? We should take you to GOP. And then I was like, he said he didn't want to do it. So I'm like, I can't force him, you know. So I turned around. I came back and I talked to his mom. I said, he said he don't want to play basketball no more, man. He just don't want to do it. Called his coach. His coach is the one that kind of made me look at it different. He said, I don't want you to think I'm saying this just because I'm his coach and, you know, we use him, we need him. And this is my best friend. Shout out to Coach Keys Gop, you know, big guy. So he was like, he said, Makai's been playing since he was 7 years old. It's like, honestly, like, what else is he gonna do right now?
Yeah.
So why he said you shouldn't allow him to give up right now, because it's just probably a phase or something that's on his mind that he's thinking about. He said you need to sit down and have a conversation with him and really just figure out why he wants to quit.
Right.
Because if he's quitting just because he wants to be lazy, that's just me allowing you to be lazy and allowing you to just, anytime you feel like something ain't going your way, you might just be quitting later on in life with something else. Do this for a month. You know, it's a lot of people like that. I'm gonna do this for a month, or I'll quit, bro. Then they wonder why they can't get ahead. And it's because you're not giving nothing a chance to see if it works. You know, so give it a chance to see if it works like this. And look what happens. You go to high school and you're playing varsity as a sophomore. Why? Because you've been playing since you were 7. You know what I mean? And he wasn't even thinking about like, oh, what if I go to high school and I can't play varsity or nothing. He wasn't thinking that far ahead. He wanted to be on that game. I knew what it was.
Right.
But I'm like, well, if you want to be on this game and be a streamer, we can figure that out as well. You feel what I mean? But as far as being a man, it's like I can't allow you to sit on your butt all day and just play a game. You still gonna have to do something outside of chores. You have to learn how to work.
Fact.
You know. So if I allow you to sit down all day, then you gonna grow up just sit down all day. You ain't gonna have no work ethic.
Right.
Basketball teach you how to have a work ethic because you running and jumping and doing all that. So if you go do a job, you gonna be like, oh, this ain't nothing compared to what I do at practice. You know what I mean? So just keeping them, just letting them know, man. Whatever it is you want to do, go for it. Don't give up just because, like, you know what I mean? Like, right now you're a kid. That's basketball is your thing, so go 100% for it. Rather just get you a scholarship to college and they pay you for school, then you decide you don't want to do it no more. I'm fine with that, but at least you got an education now. You can open up your own business and you'll know what you want to do.
Right, absolutely.
Or whatever, so.
And at that point, you just got to let them make their decisions. Like, my sons, they play sports their whole life, and when they got through high school or whatever, they decided, like, you know, hey, you know, I was like that. I actually played basketball my whole life, and I had a situation that discouraged me from playing, though, and I shouldn't have let it happen, but I was actually a freshman trying out for junior varsity. So in practice, you know, I had made the team and everything and broke my foot like a couple days before the first game. That just discouraged me to even get back on the court, you know what I mean? Like, to pursue, you know, the actual hoop dream. But, you know, but don't let that stop you. Don't, you know, anything. Don't let that stop you.
Facts.
Man, for
no
real.
matter it, like you said, no matter whatever it is you want to do in life, if you lock in and you say you want to do it, give it a full try before you, like, you know what I mean? At least try. Like, give it time, because stuff don't just happen overnight. People don't understand. I've been grinding it's been like 7-8 years. I ain't just pop up.
Right.
You know what I mean?
You've
You look
been
back at
grinding
it.
longer than that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's been long.
Right.
It's been long.
How hard is it to how hard was it to, pursue your comedy career while raising your son? And I know that's a challenge as well, because you back and forth. You reside in Atlanta now, right?
Yep, Atlanta. So, it was two big decisions I knew I had to make. With me, like I said earlier, I had a job for 9 years. I was working there, paid good money. So I would debate every day. Like my last 4 years of that job, I was debating about quitting to do comedy. But I never had enough guts to do it, because I was all worried about what if this happened, what if that. So I'm glad I didn't do it so soon, because it gave me time to prepare my mind for the what ifs.
Right.
Like the bad what ifs, you know what I mean? So that gave me time to prepare my mind. But the first thing was quitting my job and doing comedy, which wasn't bringing in no money at the time.
Mm-hmm.
So I had to just live off 401k that I had. I had to take that out. Had a little money saved up. That was gone. I took out the 401k. That was gone. And then it was like, what now? And I was still living in Milwaukee. Ended up moving out my apartment, living in my sister's basement, and that made me even more hungry to get this comedy stuff. So it was like I was going backwards but forward. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Forward with my comedy stuff, even though it wasn't making no revenue yet, but backwards with my life. Like, I'm in my sister's basement. And I was there for some years before I moved. But
that's called sacrifice,
yeah,
young man. Sacrifice.
So, facts, man. So I went, I was doing the job. That was the first one. Then it was my son. I knew eventually when I started getting bigger in my city, I was like, I noticed I'm at the ceiling here. I got to move to Atlanta or LA, but I didn't want LA. I was like, Atlanta. So that was scary and hard for me, because me and my son is like this. Like, we ain't never not been there. I've always been there since he came out the womb. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So he's not used. I knew that was gonna be big. So I'm like, he ain't used to not being around me. I'm at every game, every practice, every school event, everything. I don't miss nothing.
Right.
Like, he's with me every day. Like, he wasn't. You know what I mean? So, but I feel like everything happened for a reason. So I moved to Atlanta when he was 11. But I had a talk. I asked him first. I didn't go to my son's mom, my sister, because I was afraid somebody would try to talk me out of it, and I would have did it.
Yeah.
So I talked to him. I said, hey, Dad, do comedy. He been seeing my growth and me grind. He's around.
Right.
He's 11. He's a little older, but he's still a baby.
Right.
So I'm like, hey, what if Daddy moved to Atlanta to try to better our lives for comedy and stuff? I said, how would you feel about it? He said, I want you to be famous. He said, you should go for it. But he said it hesitant, but he said it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, bet. So I took it and I hugged him and stuff, and I was like, boom. So I was gone in like 3 days. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And sleeping on somebody's couch. So I got homesick in like 2 weeks. So I came back home, right? Not to live, but I come to my son. And 2 weeks, this how you know our bond tight. I came back home and I popped up at Meek house. He didn't know. You remember this? When I popped up at TT Meek house when I came back from Atlanta? First time, and he didn't know. He came out the basement, and he seen me, and he ran to me full speed and started crying. I was like, ooh.
Damn.
So we was crying. You see my eyes getting watery now, dog. Think about it.
Damn.
But we was holding each other. You remember that? And we was,
Yeah. Yeah.
It made you think about it, boy. Like, I'm trying to hold it in, but we was hugging and we was crying. I'm like, man, I ain't going back. This is what I was saying in my head. I said, I ain't going back, bro. I can't go back. I ain't leaving my son. But then I'm like, if I don't go back, I'm failing. Because I done already made the big, I done made the big move to do that. If I come back, I ain't been gone long enough. I hadn't made no connects. I hadn't did nothing yet.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I can't go back. So I just made sure that time I probably stayed for like 2 weeks, my first time leaving and coming back. So I stayed, and I just made sure I spent so much time where we had talks, and just spent time, and I had to go back. And as time went on, it started becoming easier for me.
Yeah.
Then he became old enough to be able to get on a plane by himself. So that made it better, because before that I would drive and pick him up and drive back, like, them long old drives, dog. Yeah. Then he could get on the plane by himself. I was shitting bricks, because I'm like, man, like I know he old enough to read and stuff like that, but I was just he on the plane by himself, man, So it's definitely hard, but people don't understand. Even to this day, I still fight it a lot. I have times when I'm down there, and I think about my son and I miss him.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I cry, because I'm like, man, I call him, and I sit and I just be riding, like, man, I miss my damn son. But it makes me go hard, and it pushes me more, because at this point I didn't got so far. I feel like if I was to quit, I'm failing him, and I'm not showing him to everything that we just said.
Right.
Whatever it is you want to do. The only way I should ever quit comedy, it has to be some type of, like, God forbid, but something will have to happen to me where I can't move around or do something no more. You know what I mean? But like as far as I'm able to move and do this, I'm gonna do it. And he's older now too, so hey, come with me.
Right.
See, I brought him to Houston. Hey, you come on. If I can bring you with me, and and a kid can come.
Mm-hmm.
Even if you want to come, but I'm like, well, you ain't gonna better come to the show because I don't know how I go. But if I can get him there, I'm gonna get him there. But if he just want to come out of town with me, and we spend our time out of town, I mean, and then I go do my show and come back, and then however it goes, I'm gonna start making it him be able to be there.
Right.
But I was taking him to stuff with me when he lived in Milwaukee when I used to do shows here and there, like stuff that he kid friendly show.
Right.
And
Makai, do you understand like that type of sacrifice? Like, do you like do it kind of sink in that, man, this man literally battling with, making sure I'm here for the sake of my growth and that I'm steered in the right direction, and he has to juggle, what he wants to pursue that's in his heart. You get what I mean? So you understand that sacrifice that your pops is really making, huh?
Yeah, I understand it. Plus, it also helped me understand. I mean, yeah, it helped me understand. Like, I'm about to start make sacrifices too, like with basketball.
Absolutely.
Cause like during the summer, like for instance, like the summertime, like we already know it's gonna be like a lot of parties and stuff is gonna be going on. I'm probably gonna want to go to the lake and all that. But if I was still want to continue with this basketball stuff, I'm about to work out a lot way more, especially next year now that majority of our team leaving. So I know I'm gonna have to step it. So really this summer, specifically this summer, I know I'm gonna have to do a lot of overtime work with basketball. Like I'm gonna still do what I want to, but I know it's probably gonna be a couple of times in the summertime where I might be like, oh, I want to go to this party, or I might want to go do this, but then I'm like, no, I'm going just go to the gym instead, and work out and stuff like that. So
that's good. You got that mindset. Like,
sacrifice.
as long as you can lock in and know that you have to make those sacrifices, hey, you could be as big as LeBron. It trips me out because I know you've seen it too, Myron. Like LeBron's growth. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like,
most definitely.
And just seeing like as a young child, like we was talking about LeBron when he was 13, 14 years old, and that I know that gives a lot of younger kids encouragement. Like, damn, if a dude can do it, he the greatest player now. Like the man, got the most points in the history, and we've seen his whole growth. So that gives
and he's in sacrifices. That's another thing. Sacrifices the overtime. That's why he is the great, because of the extra work that he does outside that we don't see, and it pays off in another way because LeBron is 38 years old. That's considered old in the NBA.
Man,
that's not old in life, but that's old in the NBA when you got there at 18, and he's still the best player, like one of the best players in the NBA, still in top notch shape. He's still running and dunking. Vince Carter and them, you know who Vince Carter is?
Yeah.
When they was at 40, they had to start shooting jumpers, and they wasn't dunking like that no more.
LeBron was eighth man off the bench.
LeBron's still starting. He's not there just to be like a vocal person. He's there to make the team win.
Facts.
He's there. You take LeBron out, the whole presence of the team changes.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? At
and
38.
Any team that he's been on, too.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So at 38 years old, he's still a person of that you have to worry about. You're not like, oh, yeah, he's 40 now. We ain't got to worry. Like, no, LeBron James is different.
He active. He
different.
Way different.
Different.
Way different. Who your favorite basketball player? We giving Brian his flowers, but let me ask you, who is your favorite player?
Stephen Curry.
Stephen Curry. See, that's the new school. Cause Steph
shooting
from the moon.
Bro,
shit.
that's why his jump shot didn't got out of nowhere. His jump shot didn't got wet. So when I'm not around, he working on it. You know what I'm saying? Even if he in gym, he's shooting it. I'm like, so like that was pretty much his role on varsity as a sophomore this year. You know what I'm saying? He was in rotation and he would drive to the basket here and there, but most of his points came from trades, but from jump shots. But it was the confidence behind it and knowing it. Like some people can shoot it with confidence, boom, but he ain't gonna take no bad shot.
Yeah, that's
one thing I like about him. He's like 100% team player.
Right.
You know what I mean? But jump shots, he's sniping it so quick, like. So as soon as he shoot it, everybody think it's good every time.
Man.
The whole bench standing up. Like, you know what I'm saying? But it was like the confidence behind that mug. And it was times I thought they was going to whoop that mug. I'm like, ain't no way. When they swing it, because they'll make the pass too late.
Mm-hmm.
But when you do something so much, you just learn, you perfect it. So it's like, he's shooting it so fast, but efficient, So in my view, it ain't even no elite jump shot yet, and it's already wet. So imagine you keep working on it, it becomes elite.
Right.
So all of those type of things matter, man. So I'm just proud of him, man. You know what I mean? I'm proud of him, and just I want them to continue to grind and continue to work, and just like we said, just watch me and use my formula in your own way.
That's what's up, man. Yeah. Let's so you and your son got a tight relationship, man. Like, and I know from, just you being a homie that you had like a whole different like upbringing, like as far as like, parenting and whatnot. You wanna touch on like the struggles that you came up with, like as far as like your parenting, like touch on like as far as coming up with your parents or whatever, and kind of like touch on, you know, your parents.
So yeah, like I said, 24th and Locust. So when I was young, my mom, my dad, they stayed. We was in the same house for a little bit when I was young. I remember this when I was young. My mom, my dad stayed in the same house as me, my sister, my older brother Kimani. My brother Corey stayed with my granny, which on my mom's side, but we were all still affiliated. I remember when I was young, I used to see I used to come home from school. We came from poverty, so you know what I mean. But I used to come home from school and I would see my dad. He used to fight my mom. You know what I mean? And I never understood why. Like I used to be like, why? And we didn't know. We just like mama. We want mama to be okay.
Right.
So they ended up breaking up, and my dad kept me and my sister Mika. At the time, my mama had 4 kids. It was me and Mika, my brother Corey, and Kimani. So my dad kept me and Mika because me and her was his kids out of the 4.
Okay.
But my granny lived on 28th and Locust, and I was on 24th, so they was right up the street. So we still got to see him and everything. And my mom moved out, but I still never knew why he was beating her up. But then as time go on, you got your ears open, you hearing people saying like, yeah, mom on drugs, but you don't want to believe that,
Right.
till you start actually seeing it, to where it's like, now I'm living with my grandma, and like my dad, we'd be off and on in place, like we'd stay with my dad. Well, he met my stepmom, was my stepmom. He was with her for years, so I love her like my mom too. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
But she, nobody can replace your mom. You get what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
But I still love her like to death, like mom, because she did everything like she never treated me different. But
Right.
So yeah, with that being said, we would stay there. Then if they got into it, we'd be back at my grandma's house. And the crazy thing is, the funny thing about this is, we stayed on 24th with my mom, with my real mom, my dad. And when I was saying that, we stayed on 24th and Locust, between Locust and Chambers. That's Chambers, yeah. And then my grandma and my stepmom stayed across the street from each other on 24th and Locust, but between Locust and Hadley. So we was just on this long strip block, like us block, then you cross the street, and then we was on that one.
Yeah.
So my dad left from that house and went a block over, met my stepmom, and we was living with them. She had 5 girls and my stepsisters, man. And we were living there. They get into it, we just go right across the street to my grandma. You know what I'm saying? So my grandma was helped raise me a lot too, man. My grandma was really there, like a whole 100% there. Like my grandma was there, like. So I was seeing my mom. I was hearing about her being on drugs, and I would be outside, and I would see her walk past. And she knew us, and we knew who she was. And sometimes she speaks, sometimes she wouldn't. She was like on drugs, but she wasn't like twitching. She got that fast pace. She getting where she need to go. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So I knew that. So it was like she was in the streets, man. So I don't know how deep, because I was a kid. You know what I mean? Like I was young, and then leading up to her passing, which I'm gonna explain, I just knew she was in the streets on drugs. That's it. I couldn't tell you where she lived or what. I don't know if she was homeless or if she was living in, she was going home. Could have been a functional crack. I don't know, but I know my granny, everybody, she didn't have custody of none of us. So I speeding it up to when she passed away, I remember laying in my bed. I was in the 8th grade, and before I say that, one thing that stick to me is I remember my mom walked past, and I remember besides my dad fighting my mom, I got one good memory of my mom, besides seeing her walk past the house a couple times here and there, is one time she came up to the gate, and me and Mika was in the gate, and she came up, and she had like a little Barbie for Mika, and had like a little, remember we used to have them little sticky cords you could stick to the back door, the little orange foam ball, you get them for like dollar stuff.
Yeah.
She had one of those for me and a Barbie doll for Mika, and she brought it to us, and she took us in the house. My grandma let her come in the house, and we sat at the table, and we played cards. I remember we was playing I Declare War. And this is how I know me and Mika, my dad was goofy as hell, but that's when I found out my mom was goofy. Because when we was playing, she was doing the same stuff me and Mika do today when we be picking, like, slamming the car. She just loud as hell, like, happy to kick our ass. You know what I'm saying? She was kicking our ass at cards. You know what I'm saying? But it was like a great time, and then she left, you know, and that's all I got. You know what I mean? People don't know that, you know what I mean? But I still love my mom to death because it's like she still nurtured us when we was babies until like that was happening when I was like when he was fighting her. I think I was like in the not fifth, but kindergarten or something. Right. So she still was a mom, you know. I still remember my mom like yesterday. Yeah. You know, see her, but I remember being in the 8th grade and I was asleep and my dad knocked on the door. Me and Mika was asleep and I'm thinking I'm finna get a whooping, dog. Yeah. When he knocked, cause that's the only time he knocked on my door in the middle of the night when he got a report card and he came home late and he like, yo, he think he got away with it. Right. So I'm finna wake him out of sleep. So he woke us up. He was crying, and I remember this is how silly I was. My first initiation was I laughed, not like ha ha ha, but he came to the door crying. I was like, in my mind, I'm like, dog crying. That's what I was thinking, right? And he said, your mom died. I'm still smirking a little bit. Like it was more like you get the hell out of here without saying it. Mika instantly, she real sentimental, like sensitive. She broke all the way down, bro. She broke all the way down, and she had got shot. We was on 24th and Locust. It's an alley between 26th and 27th and Hadley. Yeah. She got murdered in that alley by a kid that was 17 years old. Dang. She was shot, from what I was told, she was shot in the chest multiple times, in the chest and the head. And it was the story, like I said, you know, you go off the story you was told. The story I was told was that, and I can't say it's true because I don't know, because this is what I was told. But you know, it could be different stories. My granny might know a difference. I don't know. But I was told that she was silly, and I think the dude gave her some weak drugs or something, and she made a joke about it and was, you know, and I can see it happening because that's something I do. If I smoked weed, you gave something. It depends on the person, what mood they in that day. You know what I mean? Right. She made jokes about it, was dissing it. You know what I'm saying? Dissing how bad it was, and I guess the older guys was laughing, you know, and made it, you know, and made him feel like he had to prove something. So. You know, and I can see it like in the worst way. I can see how I could have went. Like it sounds, because I'm making it sound like, oh, that don't sound like it would be bad. But I can see how it go, like, because you know how I can get. So you can be like, if something would happen to me and you find out about something something simple like that, but you be like, and you know me personally though, you be like, well, I know Myron, man. Myron, he don't know how to stop sometimes, and this dude probably did get mad, but who knows? But that still ain't worth like we thinking like how we think. That still ain't worth to shoot nobody. But it's a whole different type of person. You know what I mean? So he shot my mom, he killed her, and she died in the alley right around the corner from the house, man. And that, it took a toll on me in so many different ways because it was like, I wish I got to know a lot more. I wish I was old enough to try to help her. Right. You know what I mean? Like you had a lot of questions, you know what I mean? Yeah. And I still cry about it because it's your mom. So I don't feel like I don't know my mom, even though I know I didn't really get to know a lot more about her. Right. Like, you know what I mean? So it's still... sad. It's touching as hell. Like, damn, bro, you lost your mind, bro. You ain't even. And I was young, bro. And then like that.
And from a young
person
kid
that was 3 years older than me, a teenager.
Yeah, and it was pretty much over like public humiliation because if they was laughing at him, he felt like.
So yes, he made, you know, and that's and that happens in life. Think about it, even when we have fun and we roasting. Yeah. If I'm saying something, you know, I'm making you laugh, I'm boom boom boom. Especially if you don't know me like that. And everybody laughing around me, it makes you more it makes the situation more intense, or it might depend on the person. That can make you mad and trigger you more because they laughing so hard, and then I keep going. So now you ready to fight. You get to a point where you ready to fight. You know what I mean? So
how do you control that? Because I know you want to piss some people off, like from being able to like not take it to that extreme. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah. So I'll do that with my personal friends, because I know we're not gonna fight or nothing like that unless I say some off the wall stuff like. Right. That's like you being funny and you like, this what your mama did though. Like that ain't funny. You can't play me like that. I instantly get mad. You feel what I'm saying? But I know y'all wouldn't do that. But like y'all my friends, y'all my people. So when I do it to y'all, I know in the back of my head, they ain't gonna fight me. We friends. Like, you know what I'm saying? And if you did, I ain't gonna allow you to fight me. I'm just gonna keep laughing and stay away from you. That's gonna piss you off more. Like I just know. But with random people, I know how far to go. I can read the energy. So it's like, if you play with somebody, like even on stage, if I say something about somebody and I see they just like, bro, this ain't that, woo woo, I know how to turn it without looking soft. Like, all right, it's just like turning into jokes, but get away from it so that you ain't got nobody sitting on your car after the show,
Right.
or the show turns into you and him going back and forth, and everybody else want to hear a comedy show, you know. So I just learned how to do that, man. And,
That take a skill, man. 'Cause
I had to learn it. I had to learn it. And but yeah, like so yeah, that happened, and that still takes a toll. I cry a lot to this day. So think about it. I'm in Atlanta. I think about that, man, and my son missing, and then in 2000, I want to say it was 2000. What's this? 15. I think that's when my pops passed. A day for my birthday, but he passed
Wow.
away in prison, and he's never been to prison his whole life. He went to prison at 50 years old. Like,
Wow.
I ain't ready. I don't want to say that just yet. You know, I can tell you off camera.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
Because it's like, man, it's crazy. It's a whole situation. Plus, you know, my niece here, so
Right.
you don't need to know that part, you know. But yeah, he went to jail at 50 years old, bro. Like yeah, and never been to jail in his life. He's like me. Like, you ain't never pictured me going to jail. I don't do nothing to go to jail. He played in bands, and me and my dad was close. So that's, you know, he go to jail.
Is that like part of the reason that you got such a close bond with your son? Like how you and your dad was really tight?
Yeah, and I always said like, and he was on the road a lot too, like doing music,
Mm-hmm.
like in the band. But he was still in my life heavy. So I always told myself, once I had my son, I said, once I knew I was gonna do comedy, I said, one thing I want to do is make sure any little questions or any little gaps that I had with my father that I feel like could have been better,
Mm-hmm.
I want to fill all them gaps in with my son, so that our bond is like this, to where he got to think hard on what he gonna do different with his son. You know what I'm saying?
Right, right.
I want to be like, dang man, what I mean, my daddy did. Like, I got to figure out how I can change this. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I want him to be able to top it though, which he'll find a way and figure it out. But
Right.
yeah, so that. But yeah, they gave my dad when he got cancer, man, and he was in jail. He was down at the county. You know, they had him in the county first. So obviously, what he went to jail for, he obviously had to do it if they took him and put him in prison. You know what I mean? So I went and seen him because I don't like to see my dad. I didn't like to see him like that in jail.
Right.
So I went to see him while he was in the county, and they had us talk to him on the phone. I ain't know nothing about none of this. So I go there with my sister. She was going every week, every chance she can. That's how Mika is. She's going.
Yeah.
I talked to him on the phone. He was his regular self, you know what I'm saying? He still had his little perm to the back, still had his grown man weight on and stuff, like, you know, my dad. And I talked to him on the phone. He was regular. Like, what's up? I'm gonna be out. We just having a good time. And I'm like, okay, this ain't bad. I can see him like this. So they end up putting him in prison, and I'm like, they moved him. And I was like, man, my sister was going every weekend. I said, I don't want to see dad like that. I don't want to see him in prison. I'm that person. I don't want to go see. That's not how I know my dad. My dad is a king to me. I don't want to see him like that.
Right.
So we knew he had cancer already, but then it just got, like, once he got to prison, it's like, I don't think they was taking care of him. I feel like they killing you or something, you know what I'm saying? Or not doing he got to prison, and my uncle knew was going and stuff, and they kept telling me, like, you need to go see your dad. And I'm like, I'm gonna go see him. They was like, you know, he getting sick, so boom, boom. But then my uncle came and told me one time, he said, hey, if you ain't ever went to go see your dad, this is the time you need to go see your dad. They said it ain't looking good for him. And I'm like, man. So Mika like, please, can you just come? Because I still was like, no, I don't want to see him like that, because I ain't thinking death. You know what I'm saying? So I'm glad I did. But I talked to Mika and them. She said everything. You know, you got signed papers to all that stuff for your visitation. So I go see him, and I ain't seen him since he had his weight on. He was looking regular, like my dad before he went in, right?
Yeah.
So I go see him, and you know, I'm skinny. So as soon as I walk in, dog, right, they walk us through this big old prison, me and my uncle, and I walk in, and he laying in the bed. He was so weak, he couldn't even talk. He was skinnier than me, and I'm skinny. And they had him in hospice. So I'm like, I'm looking at my dad, bro, and I instantly start crying. Like, you know, I had to learn to be able to talk about this.
Yeah.
And it's hard now, but I had been cried. Like, I never could get through it, but I had to train myself to be able to talk about these things, because I know my journey, and I'm going to have to shed light to the world about my personal life at some point.
Right.
You know, so he was laying in the bed. He was so skinny, man. I'm like, dog, I instantly started crying. Like, I can't believe. Now I'm neglecting now I'm beating myself up again. Like, how did I not come before? Even though I wouldn't have been able to control how that was happening, but I would have wished I'd have got more time with him now.
Right.
You always do that when something happens, you know. So
Absolutely.
I'm like, dang, man. So I'm crying, I'm holding him. He can't even talk. Like, he couldn't even talk. He was just like, but he looked at me real slow.
Just looked at you. Yeah.
I'm trying to.
Nah, you good, bro. Man, let it out, man. Let it out, for real. But man, that's a tough one, man. That's a tough one. Yeah, that's a tough one, man. Them parents, man. Hey, cherish your parents, man. It's so lovely to see y'all two together, man. Because you know you ain't been through a struggle, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like people can't even, I couldn't even imagine. You know what I mean? I lost my mom, but I lost my mom at 37 years old. You know what I mean? I couldn't imagine it as a child. And then you and your father having that type bond too, man. So, man, that. But this is all testimony for everything that you're doing, man. Like, and I know it. I know it be motivation for you to keep going for to break whatever generational curse that may be on the family or whatever, or as a whole, like as a and you just keep going and chasing these dreams, man. That's why it's so important to do that, for real.
Facts, dog. It's just I be trying to fight. I thought I was gonna do it. Let me try to. But yeah, man.
We need this, man. We need these natural reactions, man, because it shows people that you human. You know what I mean? It ain't all about just comedy, man. That shit come from a real place.
Facts.
It comes from a real place, for real.
So
how important is it for you to keep like this family legacy of dream chasing going, man? Like,
man, it's very important, man, because like my dad was in band. He played a band, and he opened up for a lot of big artists, and he played a band for a lot of big artists. Like, he used to take me to Jam for Peace with him because he'd be playing for people, and I got to meet all the celebrities. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, and I would see that, and I was just like, boom. But see, he was scared to like when he traveled, he would travel like on in car and stuff like that. He was afraid of planes, and that was something I had to check myself from because I was afraid of planes. And it's like people was like, he missed a lot of opportunity because he didn't want to get on a plane. You know what I mean? So,
right.
I also feel like he wasn't as locked in as how I'm locked in with it because he could have been, a lot bigger than what he was because he was known very well for playing that bass. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, I gotta do more than that. I can't be comfortable with him, even though even today, I still have my ways where I get comfortable at times. We all do it. Then you gotta recharge your brain, like, no, get back to it. So like, that's what's me, like what I try to put into my son, man, and that's why even like that, all of those things was in my mind, like, even when like I said, when I went to see him, I feel like I can say it now. You know what I'm saying? So when I went to see him and I walked in there, he was like real skinny and weak. He couldn't talk. I cried, I hugged him, but that cry comes because when I looked at my dad, they was like, it's like he didn't look at nobody else. He just was looking at me slow, like, and you could tell he was trying to smile. And he was like staring at me. And they been saying, Mika and them been trying to get me to come, man. All he wanted to do was see me.
Yeah.
Like he been wanting to see me, and Mika was saying it. But he knows me, so he know, like, you know what I'm saying? So he was trying to smile. It was like real slow. But he was just staring at me, like he wasn't blinking, like just staring at me, like you could tell he was happy to see me. And I just was being myself. I just started reminiscing.
Yeah. Just letting it. Yeah.
Just having fun, you know what I'm saying? Like just, and he was like, I got him to smile.
Yeah. Mm. It's all good, man. Cause he watching you now, man. He watching this journey for real. Yeah, let it go, man. I know that shit be hard, man. I know.
Boy, I got him to smile, man. Just talking about. I'm holding his hand, dog. But I got him to smile just talking about stuff like that. Because I got so many memories from him.
Yeah.
So just like. Just bringing those up. And like seeing him smile, man, was like, it made me happy. And I knew that he was gonna die, so it was like, it just changed the whole dynamic in the room.
Yeah.
So I got to make him.
Take your time, man. Take your time, bro. For real. Yeah, take your time, man. But But I know that made like just him even in that state, it warmed your heart up just to see like I
Yeah, man.
even the time that passed that you didn't get, and that's the thing about life, man. Like when you lose somebody, you wish that you could have spent every damn moment of your life with them, especially when it's somebody that you love like that. When I lost my mom, man, that shit hurt so bad. And I lost my mom on her birthday. You get what I mean? An hour after we sung Happy Birthday to her. You know what I mean? I still got the video on my phone. We singing Happy Birthday to her. And then an hour later, I'm getting a call that she ain't conscious no more. You get, like, blew my mind, fucked me up. Because the last thing I did was kiss my mom on her cheek, on her forehead, and told her I love her. Those was my last words to my mom. You know what I'm saying? So,
Facts,
and
man.
I'm only going on the 4th year without her, so it's still tender. Like, your mom's like, man, that was my go-to. So, it every day, like I fight back the tears and fight back, that tenderness in your heart where you just want to break down. But just knowing that, our journey, that dash in between your birth date and your death date, that's our life, and that ain't over yet. We still got so much more to accomplish. We don't have no control over when somebody else is gonna go. You get what I'm saying? And as much as that hurt, it's for God to decide, like, okay, look, this is the end of their journey. You know what I mean? And it's like, when we the offsprings, it's like we have to, it's like a pass of the torch. You gotta continue on with the legacy. You said your father was very, into music, and he was a dream chaser.
He was a comedian at heart too. It's crazy, man.
Yeah,
he was super silly, man. So that's
so
why
what you doing is like really
part of
is
him, man.
part of him passing the torch to you, and like, son, run with it. Now you gotta figure out how far you gonna take it, and Makai, you gotta figure out how far you gonna take it with this family legacy, because it's instilled in y'all. Y'all dream chasers. You know what I mean? And the dream chasers are the ones who changed the world. Like, understand that. Like, the people who came up with Coca-Cola, Pepsi, Harley Davidson, all these big corporations, they started up here as a dream, as an idea, you know what I'm saying, as a concept. And they brought that concept to life. So whatever your concept is, whatever both of y'all concept is, man, just bring it to fruition, bring it to life, because everything starts with a thought. You gotta know that everything starts with a thought, but it's for us. I always feel like this. We'll be doing God a disservice, because life is the most precious gift, period. You get what I mean? Like, just the chances of you being here is like so slim to none.
Facts.
So if you get up every day and you don't do anything, you doing God a disservice. You get what I'm saying? And we supposed to continue building on the legacy. So, like I said, bro, as hard as that was for you to bring that story out, I'm proud that you did, man, because it goes to show your humane side, and it also goes to show how far you have came in your journey. So it makes you appreciate it more just by even, going down that memory lane. Like, damn, dog, look what I've overcame. You get what I mean? And you still going. So salute to you, bro. Salute to you and your son, man, because y'all doing y'all damn thing, man, for real,
Man,
for
most
real.
definitely, man. I feel like it's like you say, they watching, man. You know what I mean? They watching, man, and even with that, when I ended up, I made them laugh and we kicked it. You know what I mean? We had fun, and then I left, and I was thinking like, dang, man, I wish I'd have seen them more than just that time. You feel what I'm saying? Right. But you can't, take back the past. And they told us. My sister told me that same day. She said they gave Dad like 2 weeks to live, and I'm like, in my mind, I ain't thinking. I heard it, but I'm like, nah, I ain't gonna die in no 2 weeks. They always say that it might be some months, but we got time. I can go see him again.
Right.
He literally passed away 2 weeks later, day before my birthday. I was driving down Titonia, going to my friend's crib, and my uncle called me. He was like, man, I said, hello. He said, what's, my nickname Pete. So he said, what's going on, Pete? I'm like, nothing, I'm headed to my friend's house. He's like, man, said, your dad, I don't remember exactly how I said, but he ain't just blatantly said, but I know he said, like, your dad gone, like, he died, you know what I mean? And I remember I just broke down. I could pull it over to the side of the road instantly and just broke down, dog. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, wow. Then it's the day for my birthday, so it's like, which is March 28th. My birthday, March 29th. So it's like every day, it's like, it's like a storm before the sunshine. You know what I mean? Because I got to think about that on the 28th every year, and then tomorrow I got to turn up and enjoy the fact that I'm still alive in life. You know what I mean? So
It's hard.
It's hard. So, yeah, I still fight that to this day, man. I fight it to this day, man.
You know,
a lot of times.
Man, I couldn't even. I know how hard it is, but I don't know personally. But my sister knows that hurt because my sister and my mom their birthdays is like literally 2 days apart. My mom's birthday was October 15th, and my sister's birthday October 17th. So with my mom, like, she went unconscious. You get what I'm saying? Like, she basically died on her birthday, but she was on life support from the 15th until the doctor basically said, like, look, it ain't it ain't no saving her. They told us that on October 17th, which was my sister's birthday. The reason that my mother's death date is marked October 18th is because we didn't want to pull the plug on her on my sister's birthday. You get what I'm saying? So, man, one of the most hurtful images in my head is like us singing happy birthday to my sister in the waiting room while my mom is on life support. You get what I'm saying? But we knowing, like, damn, at midnight we gonna have to pull this because, she, like, everything is gone. All her bodily functions shut down. And just watching my sister, like, go through that, and her and my mom was like this, bro. Like, they was tight. You couldn't break that bond. You get what I mean? So, man, that's something you got to be a strong person to go through something like that. Leaving a parent leaving you right before or the day after your birthday, man.
And that's why I try to make sure my bond is tight. Like, not only just for my son, but like even like my nieces and nephews, my sister. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Make me be like, I can't. When it's my time, man, I want them to have so many memories, man. Hopefully my time don't come until we get so much money that we can keep this generational wealth going. You know what I mean? Or however it goes. But even if I was called home before that happened, I want my son, my nieces, my nephews, my sisters, whoever's around me, like, I want to be able to impact them, but especially my immediate family, to be like, man, like, unlimited memories, unlimited times. Like, man, dude.
But you doing it because I see what you're doing with the skits and everything. You got your family involved and all of that, man.
And the crazy thing was that, like, every time I do something with my family, it hits. So I really feel like my bread and butter is, for the most part, is within my family. I can do other stuff outside of that, but I feel like my family is supposed to be, we're supposed to be like the Wayans.
Yeah.
That's what I honestly feel.
Yeah.
Because my sister hilarious. I'm hilarious. He's goofy. People don't see that side. Like, outside of the videos, he's goofy and he's his own person, but that's what balances it.
Right.
Malai's silly, but she's just like the princess. You know what I mean?
Right.
But silly, but the princess. Selly is the one. Like, Selly's like that. He's goofy. He's so goofy.
So the ones that don't know Marcel, so we gonna go into
Yeah.
cause we've been talking, bro.
Okay, I know. Yeah,
I want you to go into these skits, man, that people may not know that was you, and that's like internet sensation now. It's viral everywhere, man. You talk about Sally. He was part of probably one of your first major skits, right?
Yeah. When I was before I switched my name over to Myron Jewell because of branding purposes, you know what I mean? So I was cheating as Myron, so that's what most people remember me as, cheating as Myron. I was doing videos, obviously, if you know me, if you don't know me, if you see this, where I was always getting caught cheating. And I was filming it realistically so that where people thought they were real, so that's what was making it go viral. And I was putting myself in like the most crazy situations in public, running down the street in drawers. I was on the freeway. It didn't matter. There was no limits on where I was getting caught cheating at.
Man, can we touch on one part? No, I'm gonna let you finish.
So, yeah,
I gotta draw a story.
Okay, so with Marcel, my nephew, I put him in one where my girl and his mom in the video caught us coming out of a side chick house, but I had him down there with me while I was cheating. So I had to run out when she seen me. And remember that Shelly was running with me in his drawers.
Yeah.
We running down the street. So I had my nephew running down the street with me in my drawers just for a skit. Man, that video went crazy, man. They was like, what the
Crazy.
hell? But the crazy thing is that he is willing to do it. I can't get him to run down the street no drawers, man. He gonna be like, man, out there, come on. He might do it. I think he'll do it, but I have to persuade him. And we're gonna have to go on the designated street to where he like, nah, can't nobody see us.
Marcel,
Sally
you
gonna
running in
what?
drawers?
Sally had run through State Fair in his drawers with me. You know how busy State Fair is? If I ask Sally, hey, we finna do a skit, but we gotta run our drawers. He gonna be like, our drawers? I'm like, come on, you scared? He like, no, I ain't scared. Come on. I'm like, we just gonna run. And the funny part is, when I look to my left, he always on the side of me. So I'm like, how the hell he keeping up with me, dog?
Little dog fast as hell.
He fast as hell.
Makai said he ain't running in no drawers.
I know he ain't running in no drawers. I know him. I wouldn't even ask him, because if I had another grown dude like him running in the drawers and somebody look out the window, they gonna call the police. They gonna be like, what the hell going on? Like,
Right.
That's too much. We see a kid, they gonna be like, that could look something different too, but we running together, so they'll probably see me and see a skit, but he my height. You know what I'm saying? They like, what the hell going on?
These two grown.
Yeah, they gonna think what you want to call it? What do they call? I don't want to say the word.
Y'all ran
A happy couple was running away from somebody found out, like, oh man, she done found out her husband was happy, and they think
that's
we
a
running.
funny skit right there.
Yeah, but I ain't running with no dudes, so they can say that's a happy couple. Not nothing against the happy people, but I'm just saying, like, I just ain't doing it. Like, you know what I'm saying?
He can't do it.
Only way I would do it is if it was like this, and we explain at the end, like, say I had some other goofy dude and they catch us, she come to catch me, but this fool run with me. But he don't gotta run. That's like, I'm not saying you, but me and you in the crib, we got two chicks. You probably in one room, I'm in another room. I got my chick, you got your chick. My chick come banging on the door. In reality, you should just be like, oh snaps. But the thing is, and for the video, I know exactly how it would go. They won't see us in the room with the girls, but when we run out, when we argue, the dialogue would be like, it would be something like, maybe she found out where I was at cheating, so she popped up over there because this was a girl she kind of knew I'd be messing with. But when she got over there, her friend's man was over there cheating with me, but with another girl. So when she knock on the door for me, I run. This fool, instead of standing in the house because she don't know he there, he runs with me. So now you got two grown men running down the street, drawing, trying to run away, and she snapping like, oh, crying in there too. I'm telling. And you like, I'm like, man, what you run for? Like, you know what I'm saying? Because you ran. You know, we arguing with her. And I'm like, man, we had to lie. Like, man, like you know, that'd be funny as hell. Two dudes run out.
Skit right off the top.
That's
of
funny though,
right
that's
there.
because you just said that. So that'd be a funny skit, bro.
Yeah.
Don't even got to be about being happy. It could just be like, boom. But she could say that, like, think that, like, so what y'all in there
Man.
butt darting? I know she'd say some crazy stuff. So oh, you butt darting. I'm like, what? Ain't nobody butt darting, man. We in there cheating. Tell on yourself. Like, we was.
Tell on your goddamn
ain't nobody butt darting, man. He was in there cheating with me. You know what I'm saying? He was in there cheating too. Now you done told on him. Be like, what?
Man, let me tell y'all about this fool, man. So you remember this, right?
What? You got
we went to Atlanta. Our first trip to Atlanta together was a goddamn shit show. You hear me? Man, so let me tell y'all, man. Myron and B. Jones, we riding together, right? And so let me set the tone. We go to Atlanta. We drive there, right? And I had my auntie. My auntie has a huge house, so she had space for us to, all crash at her house, right? So the first time we pull up to the house, this fool right here, it was like a drug or something. He like, man, we gotta do skits. We gotta do some content. We gotta do skits. We pull up to the crib. Our first stop, he like, man, we gotta do a skit. Listen, I'm gonna do something where I'm running out the house or whatever. It I got caught cheating, and the husband caught me cheating. So I'm like, all right, bro. I'm like, this neighborhood ain't that type of neighborhood. Like we don't want to really get caught doing this shit. No, bro, I'm gonna just run in my drawers. I'm gonna come straight to the car. So I'm like, I'm hesitating. I'm like, this shit is not going to go well. I just felt it, right? So this fool go behind my auntie house, take off his clothes and all this other shit, right? And I'm in the car, so I'm supposed to be recording. My POV is in the car, but watching him run out the house. So I'm recording, and I'm just like, dog, this shit don't feel right. It's broad daylight. It's like 2 p.m. It's like 2 p.m. in the afternoon. Do you hear me? And it's in a nice neighborhood.
A nice, quiet neighborhood where you know ain't none of that going on.
None. I'm talking about big houses, all kind of shit.
Yeah.
So this man come running out the back of the house or whatever, and I'm like, oh, shit. So I'm recording or whatever. And as I'm looking in the rearview mirror, I see my damn uncle pulling up. Unc looking like, who the hell is running from behind my house in they drawers in broad daylight? So he hop in the car and we doing the scare. I'm like, oh shit, that's my uncle, bro. Unc walk up to the car like, who the hell? What the hell going? What the hell going on? And hey, listen, I couldn't even explain. I said, he a comedian.
Yeah,
he do skits, and
like,
he just wanted to do that. Man,
he was
that was
like,
one of the most embarrassing times.
Yeah,
and listen,
it was embarrassing.
We was just like
for you,
for me,
cause he like, man, we just got there, and then his uncle pull up, and it's like, first of all, it's like, who the hell are you bringing in my house that's doing stuff like that?
Exactly.
He don't know me. Like, he
don't even know him. They ain't never met this man in a day in their life.
They don't know I'm a comedian
and
or nothing.
He's coming to spend the night at their house.
And
his first impression.
And he running out their backyard in drugs.
Running out the back.
Man, yeah, I see my two friends gonna come stay over there too. It's cool. Yeah, y'all get upstairs. We was upstairs or something, right? It was big as upstairs. Yeah, and you see me running out that yard. Y'all pulling in y'all house, and I'm running out the yard in my drawers.
Run, man.
Dog, Crown, dog. That was funny, dog.
Dog, that was crazy. I had some explaining to do.
That whole trip was funny because that was a trip I had went live and made Crown mad. Maybe we talking about how I made people mad. I made him mad, but I went live and I just wouldn't stop. And I was feeding off of his anger.
Yes.
He was mad. So
I wanted to fight him. I knocked his phone out and said everything. Fuck all these followers. I don't give a damn. Hey, listen. At the time, I think he had like 8. Now, this is like fresh. He had like 80,000, 90,000 followers at the time.
Yeah.
He over 1 million now.
Yeah,
like, man, I felt some type of way. Like, nigga, you trying to clown me in front of 80,000 followers? Like, nigga, give me this damn phone, nigga. You ain't about to say shit.
Hey, look, now you said I just get it out of anger. I mean, I get it out with that because the more he got mad, the more it made me keep going.
Hey,
dog.
you remember my auntie came in there. She was like, hey, y'all gotta quiet down. We was really about to fight.
Yeah, like, I had the man so on edge, dog. He was so on edge. Like, if I would have put that phone down and I ain't keep just like trying to keep the happy side, and B. Jones was laughing too, so that made him more mad. If I would have got angry and put my phone down and said, "Well, what's up, there?" Dog would have took off of me. He wouldn't. It wouldn't have been no.
Right.
He was so mad. Like that was like right now, like, you know, if you had certain arguments, you might argue, put the phone down. Y'all might argue a little more before it get there.
Right.
That was like if I'd have put the phone down and said, "Hey, nigga, what's up?" Like, you would have been
I would have been.
He was going to take off because he was so mad. He was already mad, dog. And I got a kick. But I got a kick out of it. I was laughing so hard, dude. Like, and I'm on live, and that was making me so mad. Yeah.
Like, even when I knocked his phone out, he just laughed. That fucking damn laugh he do. I was so bad. I just went to my room. Like, man, fuck this nigga, man. Hey, but it was all love. Guess what my revenge was, though? I made him and B. Joe drive all the way back.
So we had a 12-hour drive, bro. He said he was so mad. He said, "Fuck y'all, I ain't driving shit."
Hey, I stayed.
He didn't give us no gas money on. He didn't drive back. Dog. On the way there, we all.
No, I gave gas money. I gave gas money, but
okay,
I didn't drive back.
He didn't drive, bro. The man refused to drive back, so. We got out here 4 and 4 and 4. Everybody do 4, man. We out there doing 6 and 6. Like, man, like, dog. And this nigga laid in the backseat, slept the whole time. We in the front, mad as hell, man. Like, dog, guys, I was driving. But then after about 4 hours, it kick in. Like, oh, dude, really ain't driving. Like, we doing gas station stops. He either got out or you probably got out and got something or stayed in the car, but you went right back to the back.
Hey, I was nervous. I was like, I hope these niggas don't leave me after I'm taking a
No, we ain't gonna do that. No, that'll be out of order, bro. Because at the end of the day, even if that would have been the end of our friendship, like, forget it, fuck them. we from the same city, bro. So
Right.
there's no way I do that. Even if we have fought, I still ain't gonna be like, no, you ain't drive back with me. Like
Right.
it just don't work like that. It's just like y'all get over, it's over, it's dead. Boom.
You come together, you
Yeah,
lead
we come together, we lead together. So that was never even an option. It was just funny. Like, dog, this thing was bad as hell, dog. He was bad as hell, bro.
Niggas had me mad. And
That was
B.
funny,
Jones
though.
just a sidekick, just laughing
Yeah.
and shit.
That makes you mad with B. Jones. You like, man, nah. Talk about, dog, that's funny, dog.
We had some good times, man, for
Mm-hmm.
real. Like me and Myron, we did a lot of stuff together, man.
Facts,
like
man.
for real. We've done skits together. This man had me running after him in the damn parking lot.
Oh, we did that in
Yeah.
Atlanta too.
Yeah, that
Yeah,
was
like,
like,
hey, my
that was all that
drawers.
with, yeah.
I was a king of running my drawers. Every skit was in my drawers when I first started.
Yep.
To where I was doing comedy shows, man, taking my shirt off. You know, I do that from time to like. It depends on the audience now. I don't have to do that, but people was like, I walk up, people be like, "You ain't the dude that had your shirt off." Like they don't
Yeah.
really remember. They recognize if I walk through with my shirt off, they know. Some people was walking past me telling the other comedians you funny, and then be like, I'm like, "Oh, so I ain't funny." They be like, "You was up there tonight?" I'm like,
Yeah.
yeah. I'm like, I was wearing my shirt off. Oh, hell yeah, you was funny. I'm like, so it's crazy. People just got used to my skin. So I got to put a shirt on, man. They don't know how I look with a skin on.
Yeah.
Not with skin on, but like skin ain't a part of it. Like, yeah, like I look with skin on.
Oh my goodness. No, tell them about some of the upcoming projects you working on, man. Listen, we've been down there an hour and a half, man, just chopping
you
it up.
go.
This my dog for real, for
Man,
real.
we can talk
go
for 5 hours,
for
man.
5 to 10 hours. Man, talk about some of the projects you worked on and some up and coming projects that you got coming for the people.
So coming up, like I said, well, like we already said some of the, you said some of the accolades in the beginning, like Department still ain't came out, so we'll be looking for that. I'm naming stuff that ain't came out yet. You know what I'm saying?
With T.I.
With
Tell
T.I.
them
now.
about the
yeah, Departments, man. Shout out
the
to
cast
Tip.
on there.
Yeah, shout out to Tip for even personally reaching out to me for that. That wasn't like through my manager. That was a personal call, phone call to my phone.
I just seen Tip this past weekend. I told him, like, listen, the love that you be showing for the people in Milwaukee, man, I salute you, pay homage
Yeah.
to you because, like, he be really reaching out to the big dogs in the city, and that's much love.
When I worked, don't do that, baby. I know I was
Okay.
hearing something.
No,
I'm
no,
like,
yeah.
that was her. Yeah, but yeah, even that, man, just from him liking the post to him DMing me, to him asking for my number, to reaching out to me twice. Is working? Oh,
Yeah, you
but to him reaching out to me twice and I wasn't able to make it. To a third time him reaching out, which was for the apartments. You know what I'm saying? So it was the journey of him, which means he believed in what he seen. You know what I'm saying?
That's what's up.
And he gave it for the apartments, man. You had Carlos Miller, Lil Duval, DC Young Fly, comedian K-Dub, stupid funny comedian, Ronnie Jordan, Tyler Chronicles. Man, these are like big time people. Like when you look them up. I want to miss no names, man. Don't you hate when you start naming stuff? Daryl Ski, I think that's how I say his name. He funny. He be on with Lil Duval a lot, but he funny as hell. B. Simone was a part of it. Man, it's a
Star study. You ain't even
yeah,
got it.
yeah,
It's
man. I'm like, man, I'm
star-studded.
thinking it's people. I know I done left some people out, man, but it was definitely star-studded, man, and be a part of that. And the thing was, I had like one of the main roles. Nav Green was in it. Got a shot at my Erica Duchess. They cool as hell, funny as hell. But for him to give me a main role, like I had a bigger role than a lot of the people I just named. You feel what I'm saying? Like for what I had did, like, and it's not about who got the bigger role, but that just lets me know that he could have put it with somebody else.
Right,
And I was
right.
I'm still up and coming under some of them.
Right.
We all up and coming, but you know, it's still they Atlanta people, so they could have definitely got it.
Right.
But he felt like it fit me, and he gave me the, you know what I'm saying? And funny story about that is they sent me the script a day before they was doing these audition things. So he sent me the script, and then they hit me. They was like, come read. They're like, just come read it. You know, see, I ain't read it because they sent it the night before, like late as ever. I went to bed, so I got there, and Tip was like, you know, like I really didn't have to do it, but they just
Right.
wanted to see you read through it. I don't know, so I went in there and I was trying to read it, and I'm like, I couldn't feel it because I'm like, I don't even know what this about or nothing yet. So I'm just reading it. Like, how can I feel something? I don't even know where I'm
Right,
going with
right.
the lines. So I was reading it, and they was when I walked in, they was looking at me with a straight face, like, boom. And I was just like, I said, man, I ain't gonna lie to y'all, man. I just turned into Myron. I said, I ain't gonna lie to you. I said, man, I don't know this shit, dog. I said, they sent me this last night. They said, who? And mind you, I'm in a glass thing where I can see out there. I said, her right there, man. She won't send it. I said, she gave it to me last night. I said, I'd be lying if I try to read this. I said, I can't feel it, man.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? And they start laughing at that, just like some sitting up boom. And then Tip was like, he said, I already know you gonna kill. He said, go home, read it, and then we're gonna have table reads next week, whatever. And then it was on from there.
That's what's
So I really didn't even do it. He just wanted to see read because all of us nab Erica Duchess. He just wanted to give us, to see if we gonna do it. Because there was people there that had to really audition for the spots. Like not for our spot. Like I just had to basically read what I was already given. You know what I'm saying? So
That's what's up, man.
but yeah, that was dope. So that still ain't out yet. I did Divorce Court. That ain't came out yet.
Divorce Court?
I did Divorce Court with
shit.
Star Jones. I did Divorce Court. I don't know when they gonna air. I did it like 5 months ago, but that stuff take time because they got so many episodes. So whenever it pop, it pop. So that I did the 85 South show that just aired. They just dropped that episode probably like a week ago. My episode finally got dropped like a week ago.
Damn, that's what's up. Shout
on
out
the
to 85 South.
It's on their app. They got the app, the 80.
Yeah,
85.
I got the app.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's on there. Did I say first day out? That's about to come out at the end of the month. They said they still ain't gave me the date because they just told me day before yesterday it's finally coming out.
Is that a movie?
Trailer's on my page. Yes, a movie. Shot that in Charlotte. That's coming out. My mind is blank right now. Other than that,
You're just doing so much.
yeah, I'm
man.
doing
Man can't even-
and I'm building with my family. So just be on the lookout for me progressing with my family, man. And y'all gonna see a lot of me and my family, man. Probably call it the Jewell family or the family Jewels. I'm still debating on which one I'm gonna run with. Most likely the Jewell family because that's what we know.
I gave you the name.
Yeah.
I want you to run with it.
Yeah, so it's like we do that and just where I'm introducing the world to my family because my family is very talented, man. You know what I'm saying? And I want and they all love social media. So it's like why not build with my family? And right now, me and my son is going crazy viral on social media. You know what I mean? So I done did videos with my niece. You can't see her, but she's sitting over here. Went viral with her. My nephew Marcel then went viral. Mauricio then went viral. My sister then went viral. Y'all gonna trip when y'all ever find that, all the story behind that. Whenever I can tell that one day, once I realize. But there's a lot going on.
You ain't mentioned your YouTube award, man. You gotta tell them, man.
Yeah,
you
man.
just hit what?
I just hit over 100,000 followers,
Hey.
subscribers on YouTube, man. And I did it in a month and a half, man. And I was at 13K for 4 years because it was building on its own from when I used to be doing the videos with Kaylin. That 13K came from that when we was doing the fofo. It just built on its own, and I wasn't even posting on YouTube like that. I didn't really care for it.
Yeah.
I wish I would have, but I didn't. But I came back here for these past couple months to spend time with my son and be able to support him at his basketball games before the season was ending. And I just did a video with my son, and it was going viral on TikTok. And I'm like, oh, so I kept doing it. And I seen the formula that they love, that they love the father-son connection, the bond that I have with my son. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then the roles switch. You got the goofy dad with the chill son. You know what I mean?
Right.
So that it fits. And doing that, I was taking everything I put on TikTok that was going viral and putting it on my YouTube shorts. And I was flooding my YouTube page, not caring about the views. And I started noticing before I noticed the views was high, I was noticing my subscribers just was going up every day. I said, my subscribers going up, but I'm looking at these first few videos views, and I'm like, these views ain't even high. It's thousands, but it ain't high like where the way this was skyrocketing. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
That's a lot of followers to get in a month and a half.
Right.
But my TikTok shot up from 200K, which I was at for over a year, to 700 and some thousand, but it's still going. And then even his following shot up, and then I hit over 100K YouTube subscribers. You know what I'm saying? All those was growing together.
Wow.
I was strictly Instagram and Facebook at first for the most part, where people was knowing me, and so that was that. But what you at now? You hit 10K on Instagram, right?
No, IG I got like 10.5K.
So he got 10.5K now, but he wasn't there. He wasn't in no
That's
double
what's up.
digits. And then with your TikTok, like 20-some thousand,
Yeah.
like 20-some thousand, 25,000, all that. So his numbers is growing too from us.
Y'all
doing
going
videos,
crazy,
from us
man.
doing videos together. So now it's just about building everybody up. You know what I mean? Right now they loving me and my son, so I'm gonna ease in my family and find ways so it all makes sense.
Right.
So that they can grow, or we just gonna make one big page, but we ain't gotta run so many different pages. The Jewell family on everything.
Yeah.
That'll be that on Instagram. Make the Jewell Family page.
But you
for
know,
Instagram,
people go
TikTok.
follow each page once they see y'all like that. You know what
Yeah,
I mean?
facts. So I mean, I mean, I'm sure they want their individual one, but we still need. I know we'll need to make a Jewell Family page,
Right.
like at least for YouTube. You know what I mean?
Right.
Outside of that, but we can start on mine since it got boom, and then send traffic over to that one with the family page. So yeah, man,
like
just
a
trying
plan,
to grind,
man.
man, and just keep him locked in with it. So I mean, you got any questions for him before we get up?
Yeah, Makai, what's the next thing for you, man? You gonna focus on this hooping career, or you gonna continue growing your social media presence? What's the next steps for you?
Well, as of right now, I'm gonna continue my hooping stuff because that's what I want to do as of right now. Because I don't know, like you never know, I could probably want to do something else. Like by the time I get out of high school, especially since I got 2 years left. But I know for a fact as of right now, I'm gonna continue with this hooping stuff, and I also know too that I'm gonna try to get my own clothing line. Like
Hey.
Ben was gonna have one. I think I want to say 7th or 8th. I can't remember which grade, but I know it's like an entrepreneur class, like either in 7th grade or 8th grade year. And I could start on it because I already got like the name, the idea, and stuff of it. But I was so stuck on basketball and school and all that. So I was focused more on, especially at the time, I was focused on more on basketball and stuff. So I wasn't really paying no mind to like the whole business stuff. But,
Yeah.
now with me, how my dad is, I know, and the support system I got right now, I know like there's at least probably not specifically right now, but I know at least before I graduate, or even if I wait till I do graduate, it'll be a good time to start doing my clothing line and stuff, and then plus still doing my hooping stuff and all that.
Tell him what you
That's
call
what's
it.
up.
You ain't tell him the
That's
name
what's
of it.
up.
Oh, it was Hidden Jewels basketball apparel.
That's what's up, man. Hey, if you have any questions about it, let me know. Because this show is always sponsored by my clothing brand, Innovative Collection.
Innovative
You know,
collection.
this clothing brand was started by me and my daughter. And shoot, you can start now, So
Yep.
you can get all the gems and all the, resources, whatever you need from me, man, tap in. So, shouts out to your new clothing brand coming and our sponsor for each show, Innovative Collection.
Facts, man.
And, we doing our thing. Myron, I want you to give me your top 5 comedians real quick.
I am gonna say specific. It ain't no specific order, but I'm gonna say number 1 is Chris Tucker. That's because it's my favorite. And I know it's a lot of other comedians, just stronger comedians, but I just like him, all over. But Chris Tucker, man, Eddie Murphy, Mike Epps. I love Mike Epps, bro. I love Kevin Hart. These not because they're new, but I gotta say Chris Tucker, Mike Epps, Kevin Hart, because his grind is different, bro. Like he a different type of grind, man. Eddie Murphy and Richard Pryor.
That's a dope 5 right there. I still ain't gave my 5 because J-Day asked me for my 5. It's probably too tough, man.
And Bernie Mac could go too, but I'm just going off for, you know what I
Bernie
mean?
Mac.
Like, no, I mean, he's definitely up there, but I mean, I'm not knocking him out. He's definitely up there, but you asked my 5, so I'm like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And honorable mention, Tony Roberts, man. That's my
Roberts.
today. He my favorite. Like
Tony
like
Roberts
he
is
did.
cool.
But I just had, I can't. I named some greats, man. So
Is there any local comedians you want to shout out, like that probably paved the way or doing anything?
yeah, man, definitely, man. You got to shout out, like even from when I first started, man. Shout out first, man. Chalk, Dietrich. I don't know if Dietrich still do comedy, but these people that just kind of helped me on the way of doing, Dietrich King, Chalk, his name, Lionel Moore, I believe that's his real name. I ain't seen him in a while. Kelly Kells.
Shout out Kelly. Kells.
Kelly Kells, man. Miss Cut. Miss Cut. Gigolo Jackson. Shout out Sip Sippy, man. You know what I'm saying? Mr. Milwaukee, Bodini, man. Now, like, you know what I mean? I put Bodini on the stage first time, and I respect him because he always show love to that.
Yeah.
But look where he's
Yeah, he
still
do.
going now. He going crazy now. That boy a beast on stage. You know what I'm saying? So
Shout out Bodini, man.
shout out
That's one of my
Bodini,
dogs.
man. I'm just going in the order of life of how I cross paths with people. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Definitely got to shout out J.D. Jones, B. Jones. You know what I'm saying?
The Jones brothers.
Yeah, unpredictable Drew. You know, definitely got to
Sure.
shout him out, man. That's my brother, man.
Shout out to Drew.
Yeah, unpredictable Drew. Damn, somebody. Oh, shout out Eda Black.
Eda
Up and
Black.
coming, Eda
Eda
Black.
Black need to get his ass
Gotta
out
shout
there
out.
a little more. Cause
Yeah, that's what I be trying
he
to
a
tell Eda
damn
Black.
fool.
Eda Black funny as hell, man. I just be like, bro, Media has multiple talks. I said, bro, you have to let the world see you. That's your only thing. You're not letting the world see you. Like,
that skit with
he-
him and Kelly Kells.
yeah, Ernest already lit in Milwaukee. He's super lit in Milwaukee.
Yeah, he is.
Like, just for being a good person. He's already a likable, good person. But Ernest worse than me. He'll irritate you faster than I
God,
irritate you.
I was just about to say that.
Ernest worse than me when it
Ernest-
come to that.
Yeah, Ernest worse than you. I wanted to
He
take
laughed at his own jokes.
this
Yeah.
little black ass and shoot him
Yeah.
off the stage one day.
Ernest,
I said,
yeah.
Ernest, if you don't stop trying to reel with that old ass name of yours,
Yeah, Ernest, yeah. Eda, that's
you
why he
got
had to
your
switch it to
great,
that's
your
why he
great
switched it to-
granddaddy name and shit.
That's why he had to switch it to Eda Black. You can't go up to my Ernest. You think somebody
Ernest
granddaddy
Montgomery.
coming. Ernest Montgomery. Like, yeah, he sound like he graduated in
Shout out
61.
to Eda Black, man. That's,
Yeah, that's my
little
boy,
nigga,
dog. So yeah, if I forgot any names, man, it ain't on purpose. It's just, you know, how that go. When you on the interviews, man,
Yeah,
you your mind be racing to try to remember everybody.
man.
So-
I be trying to remember the questions for y'all because it's so many, man.
Yeah, man. So shout out, just to sum it up, if I didn't say your name, shout out to everybody from Milwaukee that's a comedian that's doing their thing, man. And just even, I'm even take it further than that. Anybody that's doing anything, whether you rap, you're an entrepreneur, like whatever it is, man. Shout out to y'all because we were actually putting on for the city like hell now. Like Milwaukee actually shining light. Like we're shining light on the city, and ain't no one person bigger than the next, man. We all grinding. Some people might be further in their career than other people at the moment, but who's to say who's gonna pass up who and who's gonna become what at the end? So just everybody embrace each other, man. Show love, continue to, you know, shed light on the city because they think it's all white people down here, and I say no, Milwaukee ghetto. You know what I mean? So y'all come down here, but I'm just happy, man. Even with social media, people starting to flare out there now with social media.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like we been had a lot of rappers and stuff, but I'm saying like doing social media content, it's a lot of people from
Milwaukee is going crazy. Yeah,
Yeah.
we gotta give a special condolences and rest in peace to
Bank.
Bank
That's what I
Head.
was gonna say. Like, man, I was thinking hard, but I'm like,
Yeah.
it was something I was gonna say, man. So yeah, definitely R.P. Bankhead, man. And the reason I'm finna give him a special shout out because Bankhead did something that a lot of people is afraid to do, even though everybody's starting to open up a little bit in Milwaukee. He took a chance of leaving Milwaukee and moved to Atlanta and went down there. That boy was networking, man. I was watching
Going
Bankhead. He was with
crazy.
everybody. He was going crazy down there.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Then took over Detroit.
Bro, that's what I'm saying. And Detroit, and he had passed up. He was working so hard. Bankhead was working so hard. B. Jones would say this. He was working so hard. I told B. Jones. I called B. Jones. I said, bro, what you doing? I said, Bankhead killing it, bro. Like, what is you doing? I said, he said, you letting Bankhead pass you up, bro. Like, he passed you up. He working. This is my way to motivate B. Jones. It wasn't. I never threw no
Listen.
shade on Bankhead because there was no shade to him. But I'm just like, I'm watching Bankhead. I'm seeing it work, and I see what he doing, and I'm watching B. Jones, and I'm like, you doing bare minimum. I felt like he was just doing enough, and Bankhead was really grinding. He down here in Atlanta with me now.
Listen, you can ask J-Day that you ain't even gotta say like in particular, but same conversation. I called J-Day when he was in his slump. I'm like, bro, what you doing? Bankhead out here killing you niggas, dog.
Yeah.
Like, I told him like Bankhead
Yeah.
was going crazy, man. Salute to Bankhead, man.
And he
Long
was
live.
he was a likable person, bro. Like he was a person that you hit the mic with them long old fingers, bro. I'm like, what's that? It sounded like somebody hit the xylophone or something. I'm like, but nah, he's a very likable person, man. And I'm not just saying it's like he was that person that if he come around, I used to look at Bankhead and just like he has strong points and weak points, like, as we all do. Because he could really rap too. He could really rap.
Right.
Comedy, he was funny to me. I seen him do stand up too. He was funny to me. You know what I'm saying? His skits, some skits I'd be like, but then I see some that was like funny as hell. But what I loved about him the most, because that's the same way that people critique me anyways, but when I used to look at Bankhead, like when I was around him in person, I just laugh at dude for no reason, bro. Like he had this aura about himself that make you just laugh, and I'd be like, bro, what you on? Like what you like? You don't know. He was like to me, he was like a grown ass bad. He was like a bad adult. Like, how you a bad adult? Like, you know, you got a badass kid. He was like a bad adult to be like, I never knew what he was up to. Like, what you up to, bro? Like, what you on? And he'd come turn his mug up. That Bankhead walking here, he gonna come in here and just dance and bang and do everything. And his energy was different. He didn't care. It wasn't no I get shy or who this. He gonna come in there and turn right up ASAP. Like just what's up?
J-Day said he used to want to be down with their crew in high school. He was like, dog, Bankhead was lit, bro.
Yeah, bro, you could tell though. You know what I'm saying? Like you could tell when you see Bankhead. Like man, I remember we did we was in Drew cousin attic. We made a song, man. We gotta find that song, bro. But he was showing me how to rap because I didn't fall for it. He was showing me how to rap like the Detroit people on the song, like you know what I'm saying, like because I didn't know how to catch the rhythm of how they rap, you know, because that's how he sound when he rap. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
How Detroit is like it's a Midwest thing, but but it was me, him, and Drew, I think, and B Jones probably did the ad libs out from what I remember. But man, that just made me think like we gotta find that.
Yeah.
Drew probably still got it, but it was lit though.
Drew, you know Drew probably got it.
Drew got everything, man.
Get the people the fofo lyrics one time, man, because you should do a fofo challenge to see. I think you did it before.
I know I've done it, but I didn't do it. If that makes sense, like I've done it where I probably got live and done it, but I ain't really like ever locked in or really pursue it to be like, let me really make this a challenge and push this challenge and be like, boom.
I think I was the one that got the closest when you did do the.
Oh, you did, yeah.
Like,
I did. See, remember, that's why I said I done it because I did it on live. Remember, and you was going, but I need to do it to where. Like I really write the lyrics down because I know the lyrics. I just ain't never, I wrote it. I've written it down before, but that way, so if somebody say, "No, he's lying, he's cheating," I'm like, "No, it's right here," but I can't show them because then they probably screenshot it, then learn.
They gonna learn it. Makai, you know the lyrics?
Some of it, not all.
Man, let me hear you spit it one time, Makai. Try to spit it. I'm putting you on the spot. I'll try after you.
Dog with the fofo.
Oh, no.
You know why?
I got more than that.
Because he can't cuss.
Oh, yeah.
So that's why he said.
Okay, we'll let that slide.
So you can't do it. You gotta learn how to say mother sucker, because that's what I gotta do when I clean it up. Like dog with the fofo, mother sucker wanna run with it. I ain't gonna get you because you're gonna try to hear me out right now.
You give up already? Okay, go ahead.
Try.
Dog with the fofo, motherfucker, dog with the social. Wait.
He said, wait. You know it? You want to try it one time? You shy?
Put baby girl on. Hold on.
Come try real quick. Come on. Come here. Let me put it right here. Let me try it. The camera.
I'll put the camera on there.
Hold on.
You gonna try?
Try. Don't be shy. I told you. I thought you want to be a YouTuber. So you can't be shy when the YouTube. You an uncle. You gotta try it. You want to try it? Why are you acting so shy for? Oh, man. You are the world looking at us right now.
She's shy.
The world watching us. They going to see you be shy.
Hey.
What about tell YouTube?
You going to say hi to the camera for a second?
Say hi. Say hi. You got to talk in the mic. That mic work or no?
Yep.
Or she just
say hi? See, I be seeing you on the skit. You ain't that shy.
No, she not that shy, man. We had a long talk about next time we in front of the cameras and stuff like that. She got. That's why I got to do this so she can, because it's a comfort thing, obviously, and I'm learning that with her now. Like within the house, you gonna come in the house, she gonna be flipping over the couch all that. You be like, this ain't the one I seen at my house.
Hey, I seen you on the skit when you was like, who want to fight my uncle? Who gonna fight my uncle? You ran out the house. You ain't shy. Shit, not shy. Look at
she want to tick. She be TikToking with me and everything. What's up? You shy? You don't want to say nothing?
That's cool. We'll get you on your own episode, okay? You gonna do your own episode? All right, so that's what's up. Hey, she gonna do her own episode.
So you gonna come on here and you gonna sit down. He gonna ask you questions. Y'all gonna talk and you gotta answer them.
So we go work on that fofo challenge, man. Yeah. I think dog with the fofo. Motherfucker went around with the nigga with the dog with the fofo. Motherfucker went around with the pity the kitty. Motherfucker went around with the fofo. Dog with the fofo. Motherfucker went around with the nigga with the dog with the fofo. Pity the kitty. Motherfucker went around with the nigga went around with the dog with the fofo.
See, look.
Brah.
Now listen to this.
I fucked up. I know I fucked up on one part.
No, you did the same thing you did last time. I can't tell you. You do the whole thing right. It's one word that you say wrong at the end. You got the penny to kin and everything. It's one word.
One damn word.
It's one word that you. If you replace that one word, I swear to God,
the mother.
Look, say it again.
Pity the kitty, the motherfucker went around with the dog with the phone with the.
You don't know from the middle.
I can't do it from the middle. I believe that to dog, but
it's literally, bro. Like you got, it's literally one word, a small word, like just one small word, a simple word.
Damn, see
that you say, you put it in the wrong spot.
I could have won the challenge. I'm
I
gonna work
swear to
on that
God.
one word though.
That's funny, dog.
All right, man. We gonna wrap it up, man. But I want you to give this another new segment on Convo with Crown, and it's called Next Question.
Okay.
So I want you to.
Is you doing the other thing, or you not doing that? The
Nah. So
you know what I'm talking about?
the word association.
Yeah, you're not doing that. Too.
Okay, yeah.
I'm asking.
Well, let's do it since we already mentioned.
I put him on the
put
spot.
it out there.
I put him on the spot.
Right.
Because I'm gonna ask him if he got something he got to say. You ain't gonna ask him how many questions it's gonna be.
It's
or not questions.
I'm gonna ask 3 words, just 3 words.
If you know it, then you go. If you don't, then okay.
Okay, so all the word association is I'm gonna give you a word and you give me whatever word pops in your head. All right. So
it's just a word, not a thing. So it's like if you said Makai, I don't want to explain like
just
goofy, silly, whatever, something like that.
Just give me one word. All right.
One word.
Yeah. One
okay.
Word.
Bet.
All right. My word for you is grind.
Continue. That's the first thing popped in my head.
Continue. Good. Okay. Makai, my word for you is family.
Love.
Love. That's dope. And my last word for both of y'all, and y'all give me y'all first word that associates with it. Y'all last name Jewell.
Goofy, because my family is goofy, dog.
Goofy. Okay. What you got, Myron?
Man, I you have a good word in your head. It went blank. He said goofy. I'm like, man, but champions, man. That ain't the word I wanted, but I want to say something like
that's
that.
A strong word.
Champions, like Jewels, like champions, like man, because I just feel like there's no way we gonna lose.
That's dope.
That's how I feel, man. But I had a better word in my head, but it went blank when he said his voice deep as he sounded like Mufasa.
Goofy. That nigga said
goofy.
He said goofy.
Yeah.
All right. Next question. So I want you to ask the next. You don't know who the next guest is, but it's gonna be somebody that's probably prominent in their field. So give me a question for them.
If it was something, might be a typical question, but this is the first thing that came to mind. But if it was something that you can go back in time to change, like what would it be? As far as your grind, if it's somebody that's doing what you know what I'm saying, is grinding, but if they don't grind, it's just like in life, period. That probably something that you would go back and change that you feel like today would have changed your life. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
So to rephrase that, what is something that you would go back in your past life and change if
it can affect your
if you know for a fact it would affect where you are today? Like you will be a lot further than where you are today. You get what I'm saying? I'm trying to word it right.
No, I got it.
Because I don't want it to be simple. You got to spice it up a little bit. Because it's like you could say anything. Like, well, I would have graduated high school, but you be like, well, that really changed who you are today.
Right.
You feel what I'm saying? You could have graduated high school and still be where you at today, possibly. I'm saying,
right.
But it might be something else that you be like, man, if I knew this back then, I feel like my whole life would be different. You know what I'm saying?
That's a strong. That's
something you got
question.
to really think about, because I'm thinking in my head right now, and I'm like, I would have to really think on that to be like, what is something that I really feel like if I did different back then, I know for a fact today. I'm not saying I would be all the way like famous yet or nothing like that, but it would be it could be different in any other type of aspect where you like, it helped me a whole nother way.
Yeah.
That I could never imagine it helped. You know what I mean?
Dope.
I do know mine.
You do know yours?
Saving, not mine, but something like saving money. It was a time I had a lot of money, and I feel like if I had took that money back then and did right investments with it, like, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
But I was younger, which I did what I feel like a young person was gonna do.
Right.
But I feel like if I had the knowledge, was more mature I am now, I feel like, man, that could have changed everything. Cause I'd have bought everything that I needed and did stuff, and it probably would have put my mindset in a different frame earlier than what it is now, which means I probably could have got a lot further sooner than, but they say God makes no mistakes, but that's just me personally. I feel like if I would have made the investment that I knew I should have and could have at the moment,
been farther in life.
yeah, I think I'd be a lot more advanced than where I'm at right now. Even though I'm very advanced, but it's like I probably would have learned a lot more sooner than what I'm,
So I tell y'all to tap into this financial literacy. We definitely go tap in. Cause,
things like things like that, man. Like that's where I'm at a point in my life too, where I have to figure out, because we only getting older. And people don't understand that it's bigger than just a comedy grind. You have to have your business and all that. You have to be smart. I watch DC Young Fly as a person I look at. You look at DC as the average urban city kid, you know what I mean? But dude is smart as hell. Why? Because he takes the time out to read books. He's learning all the stuff that we don't want to learn because we like, oh, it sounds boring. But it's like, or even if you got a team and they know it, it's like, for the most part, you should still want to know because what if they're just doing a whole bunch? What if you got the wrong person on your team? They doing some BS. You will never know because you don't know nothing.
Right.
You know what I mean? All I know how to do is count money. So it's like I can look at and see if my money missing, but it could be a whole lot of other stuff if your whole career go down the drain and you like, and then you look back at it later and I show you all the paperwork and woo, you be like, you was going down the drain before you started.
Right.
Because you don't know nothing. You ain't know how to read paperwork. You don't know nothing. You don't know the business.
Facts. I was when 85 South Show was here. Shout out to Carlos. He brought me backstage and all that. I kicked it with them, and he put me up on game that DC was actually, investing in real estate. So that I know a lot of heavy real estate people. So I made contact with DC, and hopefully something transpired from that because if we could get more black people investing in Milwaukee, because this one of the best cities to invest in real estate wise. That's gonna just make it better for us in the long run. You know what I mean?
Facts.
Man, we almost 2 hours in.
Oh yeah, man, we gotta bounce like titties, man. My niece hungry, my son always hungry.
Yeah,
I need to eat. I ain't ate nothing all day. That's why I don't gain no weight.
Hey, listen. I gotta give all the flowers and praise to my dog, man. I appreciate you for coming through the podcast. Mr. Myron Jewell, man, salute to you, brother.
Man, I appreciate you for having us, man. I appreciate you.
Makai and Miss
Malai.
Thank you for coming, Malai.
Yeah.
I got the Jewell family in here, man. Yes, sir. And we going crazy, man. Hey, salute to Myron. Salute to Makai, man. Y'all keep doing y'all thing. I appreciate y'all for coming to bless Convo with Crown. And we going to take it up out of here, man. Salute to y'all.
Already appreciate you for having us, man.
Yeah, yes, sir. And, hey, don't be no stranger, man. This
I'm
home.
back. I'm coming back. We coming back, man. He going to get what he going to do? He going to get his clothing line together. He going to come back and he going to...
And we going crazy.
That's what
we go get you in the stores and all that, man. So whatever I could do to help. So that's a wrap, man. This is episode 103 with Mr. Myron Jewell and family, man. And we signing out. Convo with Crown, man. Y'all like, share, and subscribe. And we out of here. Yes, sir.
Yeah.